simply not have. With that, I yield.
All I gotta say is that she said I won in the beginning. So there we go. She said Glenn's right. I will take that as a W. We can hear it, we can replay it again. But at the end of the day, when you cheat somebody, the principle of it is that the principle is wrong. If you're saying that we're gonna let somebody get away with a little cheating here, this is not as important as this cheating. No, the principle says if you are a cheater, you're a cheater. If you are a liar, you're not to be trusted, right? If you lie little or lie great, you're still not to be trusted. That's the principle. So to me, the crime is the same.
All right. Well, that was lively. Let me bring everybody back up and we will get on with this. All right. Gentlemen, what say you?
Can I ask for some clarification as to the judge's responsibility? Is it like in a classic debate where it's who convinced us of their position, or are we only arguing on the merits of the argument, like who argued best?
It's more supposed to be like a learning thing where we tell people what they did, how they can do better afterwards. So we generally just judge based on the tactic, how you handled X, Y, or Z, how blah blah blah, how you back and forth.
5 minutes is not enough time to convince you of anything. It's more about the effectiveness of the argument.
I mean, I was convinced in one of the debates to change my mind, but what was the exact prompt on this debate again?
I'll read it to you. Wait, I got to scroll down.
Thank you, sir.
Wow, I got to scroll further on.
While we're waiting, Tyler, it sounds like you're echoing a little bit, like you might not have the right audio device selected. Just FYI.
It does that sometimes with the when I have the screen up. Sorry, I do apologize.
Just FYI.
I scrolled way far down. All right. Nope, that's not it. That's what happens when I close this sometimes.
I thought they changed it from your original topic to cheating in a church sanctified marriage
they just
versus
agreed
cheating in
that,
sports, right?
Yeah, they just agreed that it was in a Christian marriage. Yes, is cheating in a relationship, which we defined as marriage, worse than cheating in a professional sport?
Yeah, I think that it is, right? So I would have in the pre-poll said yes. And then I don't think any arguments convince me to the contrary. But at the same time, I think Glenn completely mocked Paige in this debate. Like the way he was able to argue for something that was so absurd was extremely impressive. So if that's the marker, I'd have to say he won. But I would like to say that Paige held her ground, being that reality was on her side. But unfortunately, she did a lot of arguing out of incredulity, and that just doesn't do it for me, right? He was already in somewhat of an incredulous position, and I think he did a fantastic job making the case for something that's kind of obviously unbalanced, right? Am I totally weirdo, odd man out on that?
All right. Israel?
Sorry, was that a vote for Glenn or me?
Dennison, I believe he voted for Glenn. Am I correct in that, Dennison?
Well, you know, I mean, I asked how I'm supposed to vote, and I didn't really get an answer. So, take from what I just said as what you want to.
It's a fine scale. If you met Anson, he used to vote based off of like a theme for the evening. Whoever had the best rebuttals and things like that. So it's not a bad scale as long as you know the intent.
As long as you're consistent across the board.
If you're just starting
on the right side, and Glenn could not convince me otherwise, but he gave excellent arguments. He really, really tried as hard as he could. I'm afraid to debate him now because he obviously had the worse off position. Nobody wants to be cheated on in a relationship, but he made his case as much as he could.
The side that you agree with shouldn't necessarily impact your judging of how good an argument was made.
Right, but did the argument convince me? No, I thought the argument was excellent, but it still didn't go far enough to convince.
Well, there you go.
So who is your vote for?
I mean, whoever you want it to be
Leaving it
for.
ambiguous.
That's not how that works.
When I asked how I'm supposed to gauge that, I was given an ambiguous description. So
You
I
were
just gave you
told
my-
clearly to base it on their performance, not whether or not they convinced you, because 5 minutes isn't enough really to convince anybody. Grid said that. He said based on their performance in this particular 5 minutes, not whether you were convinced to one side or the other.
And then I was given two conflicting explanations as well. But according to that, Glenn won the debate.
Okay. Israel.
I think that Paige brought up 3 good points. I kind of paraphrase them as gradations, context, and scale. And I feel like the scale answer was answered with pearl clutching. Glenn clutched his pearls during that debate and said, "Oh, it only matters some is fine for you," when she never said anything like that. She was just trying to make a scale-based argument. Glenn's argument essentially, and I wish Paige would have honed in on this and given us an example, but it would have said, essentially, an 8-year-old that cheated at Go Fish with his 8-year-old friends is just as bad as a husband sneaking behind a wife's back, because he's only judging from the metric of, was it stealing or was it cheating or was it this thing, and ignoring every other piece of context that makes up the totality of the situation. So I think Paige did a very effective job at arguing that, minus just an example. I had to give it to her pretty hard. And Glenn's trolly closer was just kind of told me he wasn't taking it that serious.
All right, Witchy.
So I want to commend you, Glenn, or no, not Glenn. Who was that? I'm bad at names. I want to commend the gentleman for.
It was Glenn and Paige, or Glenn and Ev were the ones debating.
That there's a grade to sin, because that's what she was talking about more than anything, you know, like there's a level of sin that God cares about rather than just sin is sin. That was interesting that you got her to do that. But in the end, I feel like it was really close. Like for me, it's like a 6-4 decision here, but I have to give it to Paige or AVG.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Maybe even 5.5 to 4.5.
I too would have given it to AVG, and I'm gonna and the reason why is because even though I actually find Glenn's argument interesting,
y'all don't have principles.
He is willing. And that, I was going to get to that, Glenn. Even though he was being tongue in cheek, I think Glenn really does. There isn't a level with him, like with most of us, you know, stealing bubble gum is not not the same level as stealing a car, right? But what Glenn is saying, that is in his world, it is the same. Now, maybe the consequence of that is not necessarily the same, but it is the same.
You wouldn't download a car.
I commend him for sticking to his guns on that, and I don't think it's as lunatic a take maybe as some other people are.
Yeah, I think he made AVG in this debate. She went against what she would principally believe being a good Christian woman, is that, you know, sin is sin, right? But he got her to debate that there are levels of sin, and I love that.
Well,
I gotta say, I don't think it was even close. I'm not gonna lie.
Go ahead.
I thought Paige like blew out.
I'm not. I mean, I don't know. It was a blowout, but
you don't even know who Michael Jordan is.
You mean like blowing?
I know who Michael Jordan is. I just don't like to watch basketball.
Yeah. He thinks he did extremely well.
Okay, wasn't sure.
He's a baseball player.
I don't think that Paige.
He played cricket, sir.
AVG, admitted to levels of sin, because to do that, she would have to judge someone's sin, and we're not supposed to do that, right? So by saying sin is, sin is a sin is, I mean, that's a nice thing to say, but that's not really the reality of it, right? So,
So did she just sin to win the debate?
She did.
could be.
I
don't
like
know.
it.
Oh,
I like it. Sin looks good on you, man.
I'm not a judge of that. I'm a, I
No,
don't judge that.
didn't.
What I'm saying is that, so,
I didn't.
What would this? What would the sin have
She
been?
totally
Flo?
argued for moral
the
relativism.
sin would have been adultery.
She did, didn't
Did she do an adultery to win the
She
debate?
did, and we could clearly tell that Glenn
Pre-adultery.
doesn't believe what he was saying. He was just making the best
Gosh.
possible argument he
no,
could.
he does believe. No.
No,
No.
Great-
See,
great job.
that's the mistake. Glenn, I've known Glenn a while, and he really does believe, at least at his core level, that stealing a stick of gum is just as bad as robbing a bank. That's there.
And
There
this
you
is
go.
No,
why
he doesn't.
Christianity corrupts people's natural morality.
Oof, that's retarded.
Ugh.
He and he
Well, and
doesn't actually
my
believe
thought
that.
here is that Paige being a good Christian woman, AVG being a good Christian woman, probably really believes that those two are the same. But she argued moral relativism, and it blew me away that she did, and I just feel like she did a better job.
And I believe that that's
slightly.
what the problem that we have in society today. Where it's like, you know what? Oh, it was just a kiss. It wasn't like I fully stick my dick in her. So is that really that cheating? Like, we're gonna have a sliding scale on this. And it's
Yes,
so much
it is
easier to be
cheating.
black and white and be like, you know what? No, if you're a liar, you're a liar. If you're a cheater, you're a cheater. Whether you cheated, I don't get into business with people that I know that cheat on their spouse. Why? Because if you're willing to cheat on someone you love, you're definitely willing to cheat on me in business. And that's a principle that I uphold. And that's the principle I stand on.
I gotta ask an important question here. So we gotta do something a little different because we have 3 people left. So we put all 3 people into a debate together, and then the winner goes to the finals.
We have Scratch.
What did they call that in
There's 4 of
WWF?
us. Scratch, me, AFG, and Abe.
I can judge if you like, Grid.
Well, so Dusty
Your
and
Jew
Abe
math
go
is
next.
failing.
Dusty
Wait,
and Abe
but-
go next, and then we
Yeah, I
have
was
3.
gonna say Justin, Abe haven't.
Yeah.
I was
Dusty and
planning
Abe
for
go.
the future, Dusty. I was
Okay.
thinking tomorrow. Yeah.
That's that's the Jew math.
Yeah.
Wait, Tyler can do that?
All right, so let's get Abe and Dusty up. I got to get to bed some
All
point
right,
tonight.
Paige, thank you
Hey,
for the
Alright.
debate. It was
Glenn,
wonderful.
Solid work. I get where you were going. So
Paige,
I understood
thank
what
you
you were
for the
saying.
debate.
Nice
For the
debating
final
you again,
round,
Glenn.
Grid,
Thank
Think
you
about it. For the final round,
I'm going
we
to
either
bed,
have
you
to do a
guys.
3-way.
Himza is
Take her
in
easy.
the house. All sin is not equal. That's goofy. Mortal and venial sin are different, and that is not moral relativism as much as common sense. I mean, I'm not going to argue that this time of night.
We weren't.
Alright.
No one was arguing that.
I'm not going to argue it. That's for sure. All right.
Talking about a sliding scale of the same exact sin.
Ugh.
All right, so
Okay.
I'm you go to the back. Bandcamp, off to Bandcamp you go. You go. Abe, you stay. Where's that federally? There he is. That guy and this guy. All right. Wait, hold on. That didn't work out right. Who's supposed to be up here?
Dusty, I think.
Dusty, that's it.
Hey,
The one
I don't
time he was
belong
supposed
here.
to be up here, I put him in the back. Ah, oy vey.
I don't belong here.
Oh, oy vey. There we go. Get him out of here. Get him out. Okay. What do you guys want to debate?
I'm chill. That's not a debate.
You're chill.
Prompt.
We're gonna
I
debate
was
that
gonna
you're
say that
chill.
doesn't sound like a topic to me.
I feel like I could debate.
I'd say that is a debate topic.
Old Loon says if AVG is Orthodox don't believe that all sin is equal. She was not arguing against her beliefs. That's true. But anyway, so man, what do you guys want to debate?
I don't even know. What topics? Yeah, you just read some of your topics.
It is really
We should legalize all drugs.
It is wrong for someone to moderate and compete in their own debate.
Agree.
I'm just saying that because I don't do that. I'm just being a dick. I'm sorry. That was a dick move. That was dickish. Is Flo chill? That could be a great debate
Is Flo
topic.
chill? I would debate that if you want to.
Is Flo chill?
You say yes, you are chill. You say yes, you are chill.
I feel like I'm fairly chill. Like I could see both sides of it. I don't know that I'll debate it just for the set. You know, if you want to debate that, I'll debate it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I did.
Which side are you taking?
Hold on. What did I do earlier? What did I do earlier?
Oh, you debated and you competed in your debate when you guys were teaming up on
yeah, but I apologize for that. I was like,
okay,
it was a
Marte.
bad move. Look, I was wrong. And I caused that guy. He could have won.
I almost called
Could have won, but I fucked him
snatch.
over.
All right, you know what, Abe? I'll let you choose your side. Am I chill or am I not?
I'll argue
chill?
no. I'll argue no.
Okay.
You're not chill.
Well, hold on. I've got more debate topics, guys.
Come on, this is a good
I
one.
think that we've got one that we agree on.
You got one that you guys want to go with? All right, let's roll with it. I'm good with it.
Okay. My position is that I'm chill, and I think I'm in the affirmative.
Okay. All right. Let me get my. Do we need to even time this one? This is gonna be like a 30-second debate. But all right, you're the affirmative. Go.
Yeah. I just want to say that I'm super chill. I've been streaming for 5.5 hours, and I'm just sitting here smoking my cigarettes, and I'm going to yield the rest of my time because that's how chill I am.
That's pretty fucking chill. All right, Abe, let's roll with it.
So I would say that Dusty's actually not chill. He acts like he's chill, but the truth of the matter is he's never actually chill. His heart's beating out of his chest, and he wants to rip into people as much as possible. He suppresses it, which is actually not chill. He wants to shred anybody who holds stupid viewpoints in his opinion. He wants to shred anybody who's stupidly religious for no good reason, who doesn't stand for what they actually stand for. I would say that that is not chill. It is acting chill in lieu of not being chill.
Well, this is going shockingly well. I like this a lot. Let's roll right into it. 5 minutes on the clock. You guys start.
This is wild.
We'll get into it.
Can you prove that I'm not chill?
Yes. All I have to do is go to your streams and listen to each time somebody says something that you find stupid or offensive, and you will shred into them.
I mean, you're sitting here telling me I'm not chill, and I'm not shredding you. I'm chill
That's
with
because I haven't said anything you find stupid or offensive yet.
Hold on, you're saying a lot of things about what I actually secretly think, but I don't know how you're going to demonstrate that. But I'm happy to allow you to try.
Do you think people should have sex before marriage?
Yeah, if they want to. I'm chill with it.
I don't think they should. I think no one should have sex before marriage.
I mean, all that
In
demonstrates
fact, I
is
think
that
if you do, it's a sin.
Abe, all that demonstrates is that you're not chill. That doesn't have
Well-
anything to do with whether or not I'm chill.
Well, if I profess it and then tell you you're wrong and I'm right, then what?
I mean, then you got a bad opinion. Lots of people have bad opinions. It's not the end of the world.
That doesn't sound very chill. It's telling me I'm wrong.
Well, you're wrong, but it's chill.
How can I
too.
be wrong?
You can be wrong, and I can be chill with it. The world is full of wrongness. You know what, Abe? Let me tell you. What sounds like absolute hell to me is perfection. Not only am I cool with you being wrong, I appreciate the wrongness in the world. There's
Wait, what happened?
mountains of psychological research that show that people are at their the well-being is maximized.
Ranger
when
Raid.
people are making progress.
Welcome in,
on
sir.
problems in their life.
That's-
It's not when
it's-
they've achieved goals.
I-
It's when they're making progress.
I had no plans of
So,
doing anything tonight.
the existence
I
of
just got
problems
done with
is
like
necessary for us to
I'm
reach our
sweaty
maximum
and
well-being.
I took a shower, but
welcome
I
your
was
wrongness.
sweaty and gross. I got cleaned
But
off.
do you
And
want things to be less
it was
wrong,
late.
Dusty?
I
Do
got
you
done
want
with
people
things
to be
like, hey,
less
let's
wrong?
go do a thing.
Well, sure,
welcome
that's
in,
part of the
Are you willing to
progress.
fight for people
and
to be less wrong, Dusty?
Raiders.
Have you seen me fight?
Well,
did it shout
not
you out
fist
yet?
fight. I'm just asking, like verbally, are you willing to fight for people to be less wrong?
How was the ABI still
I'm
doo-doo
willing to have
water?
the discussion. But does that
Do
mean
you
I'm not
feel you
chill
have a
with it?
moral obligation to correct what's wrong?
There it
I
goes.
don't think I have an obligation
Oh.
to look after anyone but
Frosty's
but
supposed to do
myself and
that.
My family. If something's wrong with, like, say, my daughter, or me, then I have a moral obligation to address that. But wrong in the world at large.
I've been
no,
enjoying
that's
the
y'all's problem.
Well, what
the
if the
Care
government's
Bear
doing
Arc
something wrong,
Raiders.
like to you? Don't you have an obligation to call that out?
to
as
go
wrong?
and shoot
I don't
robots.
have an obligation. I have a right to.
Would you?
If I thought it would be productive.
You can't fight City Hall.
Look, I've had the government do a lot of wrongs to me that I did not call out because in those circumstances it would not have been productive. And so you know what I did instead? I hung out in jail. I played cards.
The thing that's
I wrote
bugging me
letters,
is Flow
and I just
State.
chill.
This guy over on the left here.
Look
Look
I'm
at
so chill.
the
Grid's
volume
falling
level of his
asleep.
mic, and it's
I mean, I think we're
on
both
par
being
with
too
everybody
chill
else. Like, what?
for him right now.
What's he
so.
doing?
I just don't think that you can prove that I'm not chill. All you can do is speculate. and
Well, I
that-
mean,
that I'm
what I
really
would have
fake.
to do is I could go to some of your streams where like people come up and profess.
So
to
for anybody who
stuff
doesn't
that's really
know,
shredded,
Raiders,
and
welcome
then
in.
Try to make
Yeah,
it look really stupid. Because
on the right
in
here
some
is a
cases, they
friend.
look pretty stupid for the things that they're saying, but that's not chill. So I would say at the very
He's a
least,
Protestant
you show
also.
that
On the
you
left
aren't
is
chill at least once a stream.
this is Flow State.
So
He's
you're saying that
he's
you
a
interpret
Protestant.
my
He's
behavior as being unchill. It looks
he does like
unchill.
interviews and he's in kind of
I
the.
would say that
I'm not sure how
drama
to describe it even.
seems
On the
to
left
shake the
is
cart,
Flow
which is
State,
not
aka
chill.
the Powdered Dusty on YouTube. He's a drama
Are
streamer. He's a drama
appearances
panel
always
streamer.
Factual. Is it possible?
And then the
that I
show is
might
being
be
hosted
chill
by this guy down the bottom.
and
Grid
appear
One.
unchill?
I hang out with Grid. We talk about cars.
I would say that it's
Usually.
possible for
I'm going.
appearances
I'll
to-
be at
to
his
a
event
feigned,
in DFW
reality, for sure.
Right.
on
But
last
the
weekend of
Which
July.
is actually what your
I'll
opening
physically
point.
be
That was
there.
actually your opening point, right? That I appear to be chill, but I'm not chill. So
Indeed.
your opening point is that you recognize that that appearances could be false.
It's in. I think it's
So,
either Richardson or
I think that
Addison,
what
somewhere
you're
around
burdened
there.
with now is
So
demonstrating
we're debate
beyond just
con.
your impression or
8.
appearance that I'm in fact not chill.
Well, I'm not going to present
They're debating
video evidence of you screaming
on
at
whether
people, but
Flo
I
is
know
chill
that
right
you've
now.
seen-
Do you agree? Do you forfeit the discussion?
Well, I'm not going to forfeit the discussion.
Okay, well I'm cool with
Because
that
you
too.
can lean back and act chill right now doesn't mean that
look how
you're
chill I am.
actually chill. I know. Look how chill
Yeah,
freaking
Hey,
Grid
dudes,
is. He's
it's
freaking
time to
taking a
chill.
nap.
Time's up. Time's up. Time to chill. 1 minute for the closing chill arguments here. So
Who goes first?
I believe you were the affirmative, so you would go last.
Okay,
our,
cool.
our man. will
All right.
go first.
So, as you can see, Dusty has put on a facade of acting chill this entire time he's debating with me. But look at him rock back and forth as though he's jittering because he wants to not be chill. You see that? That is him not actually chill. He's just acting chill by leaning back. But the whole time, he's got to be moving because he's suppressing the not chill in order to seem chill the entire time. That's all I have to say. He showed you the whole time he's not chill. He used as chill a voice as he could, and he tried to keep his mannerisms chill. But then the whole time he was moving, the whole time.
You've got to move.
Imagine
move
that.
it.
Suppressing, not actually chill, pretending to be chill. And that's all.
That's pretty chill, dude. Go ahead there, Dusty man.
I yield.
He yields. Perfect. If you really wanted to show how unchill my man Flow State could be. All you need to do is bring up someone like Marte or Imperius.
That motherfucker still owes me $100.
I win. I got paid. That was awesome.
Nope.
I was chill the whole time though, my lads. Judges, let's roll with it.
So I want to go first.
Before you get started,
very chill.
a key point: Abe was not on Flo's show currently. Judges, take that into consideration. Please continue.
I'm not sure if we should
Okay,
be
can I
doing that.
give my judgment now?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay,
Seems like influence
So-
on the panel. Not like
I think they both
I'm giving
lost,
Paige.
but since I have to
ABG.
pick a winner, it's going to be Abe because Dusty is on the affirmative, and it's impossible to prove he's chill or not against his word. So he intentionally took a debate that he really couldn't lose, and for that, I give it to Abe.
Chill.
Wait, so then I was fucked from the get go. You literally just said that I could not have done anything to win.
Yeah, what kind of logic was that? I want to go
Female logic.
second.
It's
I'm
just
gonna
female
vote
chill.
for Dusty. I'm gonna vote for Flo being chill as fuck just to defy Witchy's bullshit.
All right. So, all right, Israel, go with it. Be chill.
honestly,
dude.
I feel
Bro,
for
at,
KJ.
at the end of the day, can they like both win?
I
That'd
hope
be
he
pretty
finds a
chill.
wife.
Nah, bro, that's not chill.
Nice one, Israel. Nice one.
Yeah,
I'm honestly
but
chill with it.
yeah, if I had to, like, like pick somebody, like, I don't like hierarchies; they're not very chill. But like, I would say that like Dusty, like, really kind of like he like had that like energy. If you think about it, like this is like that episode of Better Call Saul where like they were trying to prove that Chuck had a mental disorder, and I saw Abe try to bait out a little bit of anger, and Dusty just handled it like an absolute unit every time. That fucking that closer was dick on the table unitry. Like Dusty fucking the showmanship out of that shit. Absolutely 10 of 10. Abe didn't get a single point because Dusty was such a Chad in that debate. That's all I got.
I understand,
Being
but,
uneven is the bane
but
of
the
my
problem
existence.
is that he lost his shit
Just
the minute
kidding.
I said
It's one of the
Marte.
banes of my existence.
Yeah, but like Hutch owes me $200. I'm pretty chill, and that'll piss me off every time someone brings up Hutch. So
Yeah, but I didn't lose my shit until after our closing statements.
That is
Nothing to you
true. That
guys
is
up.
true. But hey,
It's true.
this was the
There we go.
chillest way for Dusty to just not say that he's been on stream too long and he wants to go to fucking bed.
I'm excited to keep debating,
just
but
won,
I'm also
though.
like really
But yeah,
hungry and
you
not
just
that
won. I
jealous
mean,
that Dusty gets to
you
go eat.
absolutely failed at what
I
you
just have
wanted
laundry
to
to
do,
do.
which
It's
is
like 2
fine.
in the morning.
She doesn't know she's not muted.
So are we saying
okay.
goodbye to Abe? Are we saying
Yep.
that's what's happening now? All right.
Yep,
Well,
that's
cool,
what
Abe.
happened.
Man, hey man, it's been awesome to have you back on the show. It's been a minute.
Heck yeah.
Glad to have you here. But yeah, you should have let off with Marte is chiller than Flo, even though he
Shoulda,
was
coulda,
not
woulda.
reply. Yeah.
Do you want to
he
let
would've lost his shit
Abe?
right
do?
there.
Do you want to let Abe take over as
Big
judge
Semper
again? He was judge
Tyrannis.
to start.
That's up
Right.
to Abe.
That's right, Denizen.
I'm just chill with
It's
it all.
up to you. I don't care.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm willing to step away as judge if you want to take it back, Abe.
Wishy, I don't care either way. If you want to keep judging, you can judge.
That's how
Nope,
chill
that's
this.
cool too.
I'm fine with it. We can
Is
we
Abe
can
chill?
stay
That should be the
later.
debate.
Everybody's
I
just
actually
too
believe
chill.
Abe is chiller than I am.
Abe is chiller than you. That should have been the debate. Abe is just way chiller than you. All right, so do whatever. Who's the next?
Do whatever.
It's AVG and Scratch. I got that right.
Much.
Yeah.
we have 3
All right.
people left
Oh,
now.
shit.
So either one person has to take a bye and then debate the other two's winner. And we
Okay.
like everyone maybe picks a number between 1 and 50, and the closest to the number gets to sit out the next
No,
debate.
I'll just
and then-
debate the winner. I'll just move to the finals.
No, actually, I'm just gonna move to the final two. I had to work. I had to work 9 hours today, and I need to go to bed. I'm sorry, y'all. Holy shit, bro! Fuck me.
So I mean that's what I'm just giving Grid as
I'm literally
options.
I
You
don't. I
going
don't really,
you're
I
leaving,
think-
you
I
said,
think-
Scratch?
Yeah, bro, I'm too tired for this. I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
out.
are you
Well, then
out?
we know the finals now.
Can you drop your channel in the back?
Yeah, you
drop
did
your channel.
fantastic, dude. Like you blew the doors off of it.
Yeah.
I actually am a staunch
Appreciate it.
capitalist, and I disagree with basically all of your points, but I think that you did really good.
Appreciate it, man.
Please come back, Scratch. We like you.
Yes,
stuff,
we,
man.
we always need good lefties here. So, because the current level of lefties sucks. So, yeah.
Scratch, have I met you before?
All right,
I'll
let's
just-
go.
I'll
Me
just-
versus AVG. Let's go. Legalize
I'll-
drugs.
Channels in YouTube chat. Channels in
Hey,
Again,
YouTube chat.
sir, I know
man.
how that. I know how that
Appreciate it.
competition works out.
All right.
Did he put his
Just gonna-
channel?
I'm just gonna go ahead and kick it.
There,
I don't know if he gave
got
his
it.
channel or not. He
It's
just,
not
like,
in the private. He,
He
unless
like
it's.
zipped out.
Well,
I'm not
I
sure how
just-
Talk Studio works. It
I
might
just
not be.
posted it in my in the chat on my side. So if people want it, there.
Oh, you got him. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna kick everybody in the back, and then we got to come up with a topic. Who's is Abe and is Abe or who's judging?
We know.
All right, you two. No flirting. All right. Come up with a topic, please.
Okay. Dusty, do you have a proposed topic other than the one that you just mentioned?
I'm so chill. I'll let you choose.
Damn it. Do you think eugenics are should be available to the public? Voluntary, involuntary?
Available voluntarily. I'm fine with
No, like-
voluntary. I'm fine with anything that's voluntary. I'm not fine with involuntary.
Okay. Okay. Homeschooling, yes or no?
Pro. I like homeschooling. I'm for it.
Okay, damn it. Can we largely explain like the roles of men and women in society based on biological differences?
Say that again.
The social roles of women and men can largely be explained by biological differences. Yes or no?
Agree.
Damn it. Narcan. Do you want to do a Narcan debate with me?
We can do a Narcan debate. I think Narcan. Wait, I think we agree on Narcan. Narcan should be available, right?
Yeah, it should be available. Okay.
I also think that secular. The point of.
Wait, what does that
secular
mean? Should be
marriage
available? It
and
is
religious
available.
marriage,
It's like
I think that's when we'll disagree.
30,
Is essentially
Okay.
the
30 40
same.
bucks on Slamazon for two.
No, okay, I'll
doses.
debate you on that. Yeah, no, I think secular marriage is useless to society.
Okay. Okay, so you're the affirmative on that. Is that
Yeah.
do you want that prompt the way that you just said it? Secular marriage is useless to society?
Do you have a suggestion as to a rephrase?
Nope, I'm happy with it.
Oh yeah, it is very broad.
It's not broad.
Geez. There is little utility in a secular marriage compared to a Christian one. Okay. All right, I guess we're just waiting for Grid.
She should have said compared to a church sanctified one.
All right, we got something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
There is little utility in a secular marriage compared to a Christian one.
I like the first
Affirmative.
phrasing of it better because little is subjective, but I'm fine with the second one if you
All right,
insist on it.
cool. Sorry, I did go piss off my porch. I've been sitting here a long time, so
Hold on. Why
what?
AVG? Unless I think that the first phrasing was better because little is a subjective measurement, right? But if it's very important to you, I'll accept the second
Oh,
phrasing.
okay. No, wait a sec. I can change it. Christian or religious marriages are the only marriages that should be allowed in society.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
All right, let's roll with it.
Choose the affirmative. I'm the negative.
Okay. Then whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so obviously we know that, well, I guess not obviously, but I know personally that Christian marriages hold a lot more utility than their secular ones. They have a lower rate of failure. They offer securities that secular marriages do not. For instance, you do in an Orthodox marriage go to your priest to nullify the marriage. There is counseling services and community services available to you for support through the church, which are not present in secular marriage. And there's really no guarantees in secular marriage. We know that the top reason for divorce is irreconcilable differences. What the fuck is that? That could mean a gazillion things. Christian marriages have the lowest divorce rates,
She should have
are the
said
most
Brazilian.
promising, and offer the most
bigger.
security, absent the trappings of worldly things. Ergo, they are the best. W, Christian marriages. L, secular ones. Abolish all secular marriages. They offer no utility other than tax purposes. With that, I yield.
Okay. All right. Whenever you're ready.
All right. So she said a lot. She said a lot of nonsense there. The very first thing that jumped out to me is that Christian marriages have the lowest divorce rate. That's wrong. In fact, they have the highest divorce rate. Evangelical Christians are the highest divorce rate in the country, not the lowest. The other thing is the prompt is that secular marriages should not be allowed. It's not that Christian marriages are better. So she spent this time, her opening statement, building this case, this false case for why Christian marriages are better. But the very first thing she said is that they offer more benefits, which infers that there are benefits to secular marriage, which if something is beneficial, it should not be banned. Marriage is beneficial to everybody involved. It's beneficial to families, to children. If you look at well-being rates for people who are in married relationships, much higher than people who are single. Marriage is beneficial to everybody, not just Christians. It should be for everybody in society. I yield.
Okay, so
All
secular
right.
marriage.
One
Secular marriage
second,
has-
let me
Oh,
get
yeah.
the. Yep. Okay. Go.
Secular marriage offers to my knowledge, as of current rates, 56% divorce rate compared to Orthodox Christianity at 9%, and Catholicism,
Orthodox
I believe, at
compared to
12%.
Orthodox
Yeah, that's a
Christianity.
form of
We're
Christianity.
talking.
Orthodox a form
It
of
is a form of
Christianity,
Christianity.
Dusty?
You don't get to
Great,
to
thank you.
pick and choose
Thank
which
you.
forms of Christianity you want to count as Christians.
Oh, you can't
Okay,
count
so we need to
Episcopalian.
include them. We need to include them all. We can't use one as an example of how it
Correct.
works.
Correct. You cannot
And why is
pick and
that?
choose the most conservative. What percentage of Christians in the West are
Episcopalians?
Orthodox Christians? Is that even a representative serving?
Well, the
or
Roman
sample size?
Catholic rate is 12. 12 is
No,
still
no,
a
no,
great
no, no,
marker
no,
against
no, no,
56.
don't pivot. Answer. What percentage of
What do you
people in the
mean? I'm not
U.S.
pivoting.
Christians in the U.S. Identify as Orthodox?
Yeah, Episcopalians. They're like
It's a very small percentage, but Roman
It's a very
Catholic.
small
They've, like,
percentage. So why would
lesbian-
you choose?
Significant
Why would
amount
you
of
choose the
neos.
small
Priests
percentage
or
sample size? Why not
preachers
look
or
at
whatever.
evangelical Christians, which
Sorry.
are a much bigger
What?
representation in the West and have
What
a
about the
massively high
statistics?
divorce rate?
What about the statistics makes you think they're not per capita? Can I know?
Well, you're the one looking at them. I'm just rolling off memory.
I'm not looking at them. Actually, I just know them
Okay.
off by heart. I'm not allowed to use sources during this debate.
You're
So,
not.
yeah,
You're not.
it-
What
it
you're
is
what
per
you're not allowed to
capita.
do is you're not allowed to pick and choose a very small representative sample size because it fits what you're trying to say, and then
So then
apply it to the
contend
whole.
with Catholicism. So then contend with Catholicism. You want to pick and choose? Okay, Catholicism. They have a huge demographic in the United States.
Mhm.
Why do they only have 12%?
Why don't we just do all Christians? Why are we trying to choose? Why are we trying to exclude the majority of Christians from the Christian sample size that you want? Besides, the prompt is not Christian marriages are better than non-Christian marriages. It's that Christian marriages are the only ones that should be allowed. Now, how do you build that case?
Yeah, because the divorce rate is over half. Would you get in a car tomorrow if you thought that you were
That's
going to
not
get in
true.
a car crash at
That's not true,
56%?
though.
It's
That's-
56%, Dusty. The divorce
That
rate
is-
is 56%.
Right.
Secular
And
marriages.
most of
also,
those
you can-
most of those are evangelical Christians. Regardless, marriage is still
No, that's not
beneficial.
including the factor.
Marriage is still beneficial to everybody involved in it.
How-
A healthy marriage is beneficial to everybody
How is he
involved in it,
saying that
regardless of religion.
for tax rates.
No,
that calling
for mental health, well-being, for families,
evangelical
the
for all-
Christians secular marriages?
for all the
Dusty, if
reasons.
I'm the government,
Tax benefits are one of
if I'm
them.
the government,
Paige
why
needs
do
to
I
call
care
him
about
on this
giving
one.
people more tax benefits? If anything, I want to tax them more. I want them to have a higher tax rate, right? Outlaw those fuckers, right? I don't want them
So-
to get that benefit.
Well, you want them to have a healthy functioning. You want to have a
Paige
healthy
lost
functioning
me.
population, don't you? You want to have
It
fewer.
doesn't.
You want to have
There's no
fewer.
success
You want to
rate
have
for this
less
stuff.
less welfare moms, don't you?
What would
because
that- okay,
married
Fewer.
married families
They both lost me.
Married families provide for themselves. I provide
Who
for
is the
my
main-
family.
who
Grizz
is the party
provides
that
for
usually
his
divorces?
family.
Yes,
You
a
know who
W,
provides for
W.
you know who provides? You know who provides for the single mother households that you're espousing? The government. They don't want to pay for that.
Okay, so
You're
that's
espousing single
obviously an
motherhood. You recognize
exception,
that,
not
right?
the rule. No,
by
that's
trying
an exception, not the rule.
by trying to prohibit secular marriage, you are espousing single motherhood. That's what you're promoting.
Not at all. I'm saying the security that might be offered through a secular marriage is not security at all. There's a 56% divorce rate. Ergo, it makes
There's a
no
56
logical sense.
divorce rate amongst Christians as well.
No, there isn't. The statistic for 56% is secular marriages, i.e., non-Christian. Do you understand the definition of secular, sir?
Yeah, and I understand that you're making up statistics on the fly. I've looked this up before.
I'm
I've had this.
not. These are legit
I've had
statistics.
this debate before. Evangelical
Well, how
Christians
much
are the
before?
highest divorce rate, in this
Out of
country.
Christians. The
They're
56%
What is an
for
evangelical
Christian
Christian?
Secular marriages, sir.
Okay, so you're saying they're not good enough Christians. They're not the right kind of Christians. So you're not actually
No, I'm
arguing
saying they're
for
secular,
you're not
dude.
actually arguing for
Secular is
Christian
gonna be
marriage.
religious.
You're arguing for
Oh my gosh.
Orthodox Christian marriage.
Definitional disability apparently here. Yeah, no,
I mean, we
secular
do have a
is
moderator. He's
non-religious.
super chilled, maybe. But regardless,
seem very chill
regardless,
right
here,
now.
you know what?
I think you gotta
Let me
lose this
make
to
this
some
interesting.
fucking
Let me make
show.
this interesting. I don't believe this, but I'm going to go ahead and concede. I'm going to tell you, Christian marriages
think
are
it's
better than secular marriages.
Oh,
now,
bam.
now,
Here goes
why?
somebody.
Why? That's not the end of the debate. Why do you think that should prohibit secular marriages, which do offer all the same benefits?
Because secular marriages don't offer a
What?
guarantee of those benefits.
Neither
sir.
do
It is a
Christian
huge-
marriages. They
Yes,
don't
they-
offer a guarantee.
In
Can
the-
you get
in the
can you get
text,
divorced? Can
in-
you get divorced in the Orthodox Church?
Not without a priest's consent.
Can you get divorced in the Orthodox Church?
After you receive a dispensation from a priest.
Can you? So yes.
After you go through that extra
Yes,
step,
you can. Yes, you can. There's
makes it
no
ultimately harder to
guarantee
do.
there either.
And there's no guarantee the priest is going to grant it.
Sorry, I
This
was
is
muted.
wild.
That's time, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry, I muted
Let's
myself.
cease the debate.
I apologize.
Hey.
Wow, good debate. Okay, so I believe my man Dusty goes first.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that throughout this debate was like, let's be real, this was just a slaughter. She was arguing the whole time, trying to use made up statistics to say that Christian divorces are more infrequent. At no point did she make a case for why secular divorces or why secular marriages should not be allowed. She completely ignored that. Also, just real quick, Pew Research shows that in 2023 to 2024, divorced or separated people accounted for 66% of them identified as Christian. So I'll yield.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, for sure. So my opponent couldn't contend with the difference between secular and religious. I did not make up those statistics. Those statistics are ones that I know. I didn't need to look up statistics, something that to my knowledge we're not allowed to do, even though Dusty did so in his closing, which would be an automatic disqualifier. And let's not forget about the fact that my opponent conceded that Christian marriages were better. Why on earth would you want to motivate people to not pursue that? If anything, we should be motivating more people to become Christian and convert. The new world order is here, ladies and gentlemen, and this is how you get the benefits of marriage and family and home. And the nuclear family is the cornerstone of modern America. God bless America. With that, I yield.
Paige, which one of us has the benefits of a nuclear family right now?
Oh, okay. All right, that was fun. I like that one. Judges.
Well, I now
So
want
I
to
have
take
to
back
ask
the.
a question. Can I ask a question first?
Yes,
Is
absolutely.
fact checking using sources, would that be a disqualifying thing? Because like earlier, the guy I debated had his girlfriend, wife, partner, harem member, whatever, feeding him facts, and you guys let that pass. So I don't know if Dusty fact checking her
and
is a
I just-
disqualifier.
I just read a chat just like Glenn did earlier.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. It's just a
I have giant detailed citation documents and shit I use all the time. It was specifically about using AI in a way to help aid your arguments.
and I
That's
prefer you not
exactly
do
what
the. I prefer no notes and that sort of thing during the actual debates, but that's fine. I'm okay with Dusty reading his chat. Although I personally believe that the actual statistics are a little bit different, but statistics are mostly bullshit anyway.
I think that was just an excuse for Tyler to say he has a giant D. Like
I
I
to
just
say that
wanted to make
sentence.
sure it wasn't disqualifying before I
No.
bothered to vote.
it hits the
No,
toilet water.
It's totally fine for Dusty to read a chat and say that. I would have fact checked him anyway, so I do. I mean, I do while we're watching this. Anyway, go ahead, guys.
So yeah, that was something I think AVG, I'm sorry, keep dead naming you as well. I think the biggest thing that you did this debate happened right before the debate when you agreed to a prompt change that completely undermined your arguments, which were very solid arguments for the previous prompt. But once you said you never gave a positive argument of why we should ban the other. You just said it's better, and because it's better, we shouldn't allow the other one, even though Dusty made compelling arguments as to why secular marriage is a step in the right direction besides secular single. So I, at the end of the day, think that the prompt fucked you there. You shouldn't have accepted that change and argued the original one. I think you would have won it. I gave it to Dusty. Sorry about your revenge. I was rooting for you.
It's all good.
Dennison.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make the argument that marriage is good and that you should deny it to a large percentage of the population at the same time. It just didn't make any sense. I think Paige did an excellent job. She's good at these debates, but the prompt was too much to overcome, much like Israel Enjoyer said. I voted for Flo.
Okay.
Israel is also too much to overcome.
I'll throw in my lame duck vote. I'll throw in my lame duck vote and make it unanimous just because it's the exact same reason I lost earlier. You got caught up in the debate prompt that you wanted and didn't respond to the actual debate prompt. That's just my opinion. So Flo takes it unanimously, in my opinion.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the feedback.
I actually, so when you're gonna say things like, the majority of Christian marriages are more successful, I think that it's tough if you just don't really have those facts memorized, and I think that I understand. I mean, I believe that I understand what you meant by that, and that actual Christian marriages, or whatever you want to call them, because most people who claim, or most of the people who claim to be Christian they just mark that on their marriage license, and they're called self-identifying. And when you actually start boiling down the statistics, you end up finding that that even the evangelicals have a lower divorce rate amongst actual practicing Christians than secularists. But
no true Scotsman.
You have to.
Can I comment on that? Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, on that point, what the data show is that almost everybody considers themselves Christian, and they have the same divorce rates as everybody else. But religious people have better success in marriages. And that means people who go to church regularly, people who don't cohabitate before they get married, people who stay a virgin before they get married, people who are devoted to their local parish, whatever it is, even if it's not necessarily Christian, spiritual and religious practicing people stay together longer and have more successful marriages.
And I think that would have been a more effective argument, AVG.
Well, it still doesn't support the ban. Like, yeah, I realized it in hindsight. It was a difficult prompt to kind of take on, and yeah,
Someday
it's what
you'll
it
beat
is.
me.
You
You
still
win,
could
you
have had it.
lose. No,
You
really,
still
you
could
lose
have
twice to Dusty and
Someday you'll
Bonfire.
beat me at a debate.
It's
I
again,
don't.
it's
Need some
I
fries.
think you had it. It's just it's a very common trap, and Dusty's very well aware of it because most people identify as Christian out of habit, not practice, and
Sure,
it's
it's
a
true.
really you just have to make sure that you put that in there. And I mean I've made the same mistake. I've done the I've just been overly general, and you can't do that with Dusty. Dusty, he acts like an idiot, but he's really a pretty sharp guy.
He's not
So,
chill.
Yeah,
Not chill at all.
he's actually
very
not.
I'm
chill.
sure
Oh,
he's
this one
chill.
should have happened
He's
first.
actually not chill. And
Yeah,
he's
Abe won that debate in hindsight. Absolutely.
You know,
So-
I'm happy to give him back the money that he donated to me through a loss. Whatever, it's all good. I'll live another day, guys.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I'll pay him out here in just a few minutes. Actually, I'm probably going to go to bed. I'll pay him out in the morning. But
I've already texted you my Cash App.
have you really? Awesome.
Yeah, that was me a minute ago.
Yeah, I just thought that was my wife
Preemptively.
telling me to come to bed. Because
I almost did it at the very beginning of the stream.
did you?
But I
that would
figured
be-
Flo, remind me to
The ego is just.
I didn't
wow.
expect to win.
remind me to talk to you about this after the stream, Flo.
Should I
Okay.
should I put no, we'll talk about from Big M. Should we-
Pay me whenever. I know it's not from Big M. He still owes me $100.
Ah, man, that's okay. All right. Anyway, hey everybody, it was great. It was great fun tonight. We'll do the same thing next Saturday evening. Please get here earlier so we can have it done a little earlier. That if please just do that. That'd be awesome. And you guys were all awesome tonight. We had great debaters. It was a lot of fun. And I especially had fun. So, but now you all have to go away. Shoot.
All right.
Oh,
Hey, Dennis,
Dark
then come
Side
over
says
if you
that
want.
No.
if you
Skills
want
are
to talk about it.
Everybody go over to Dusty's.
All right.
I would set up the raid, but I'm going to bed. So see ya. AVG.
That's
Good job
patriarchy.
to everybody.
You were
Thanks,
great
Chris.
everyone.
tonight.
Good job, judges. Good job,
Abe,
Good night,
debaters.
Chris.
everybody. You guys were all
Thanks,
fun.
everybody.
Thanks, Grid.
Yep. See
That
you
was
guys.
See you
fun.
next time.
Thank you, Grid.
Yep. Bye.
Sewer blood.
Did you know if you put your top lip and your bottom lip and you press them together, you will experience how to shut the fuck up?
I think that's it.
That never gets old. All right, man. I'm going to bed.
Wait, am I the only one that didn't just immediately X out? Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
cool.
You got to hit the button. You didn't hit the button to go.
Oh, I'm gonna be at your thing. I still am planning on it. Do I need to do anything?
In the next few days, I'm going to put up an Eventbrite.
I don't know what that is.
A link where you go and you just click and you. I'm
I'm
charging
still
like
live, by the
$10.
way. Just FYI.
Sorry.
I'm still live, by the way. FYI. Just
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm making the entry. So I used Eventbrite last time and I made the entry 0 and it jacked it all up. It doesn't like that. So I just put down $10. So just, yeah, and there's my wife again. I got to go, man.
does it make a
but look
ticket
for the
that?
link.
Yeah,
I'll send it to
I'll
you.
bug you later. All
All right,
good.
man. See you.
Go have fun with your wife, man. Later, nerd. Okay. Need just a moment to check a few things. just a moment.
To religion. And personally, I don't even believe that that the religion is the actual cause of it. I think it's correlated. The two things look similar, but I think that there's something underlying people who are serious about that commitment. That's not the religion. But at that
I
point,
agree.
there's
This
no way to
is-
prove any of this. We're just all speculating.
No, yeah. Then you could argue.
I
you find
agree,
more
but the
people
fear
like
of
that
God
who hold
is
religious views.
the fear of God is real to some people. That's the one. Like, as an atheist.
Let's push play. Okay. This is gonna switch. This is gonna switch gears. Real quick. Can presenting. Okay, we need to just a moment. We're gonna do a quick reaction. So this one, we do the volume there, and then that should be test 1, 2. That, I mean, that should be good. Stock these 10 cheap items before the next EMP hits.
World you know. Not just your Wi-Fi, not just your evening Netflix binge. I'm talking about everything you depend
Oh
on
wait,
without
we're
even thinking about it.
this is a
Planes drop out of the sky mid-flight. Cars die right there on the highway.
this is a response to a
Grocery store freezers go dark. Hospitals lose power. Banks freeze up. All of it gone in less than a second flat. Here's the part that keeps preppers up at night. The Congressional EMP Commission put out a warning years ago. They said something chilling. If the American power grid
to an
stayed down
AI
roughly 9 out of
friggin'
10 people could die. Starvation, disease, and total social breakdown.
Okay.
lead to killing. And this isn't some made-up doomsday fantasy.
So the EMP, the EMP Commission, that's a real thing. Yeah. It they're not putting out, generally not putting out information like FEMA is. Oh, that's a bad idea to do right now. Little foot for Duo XLR came off. Okay.
Messy. Solar storms have already shown us what's possible. The Carrington event back in 1859 lit up.
Carrington event was tragic in its own right. However, it didn't, there wasn't much impact at the time, but that was only because the only thing that kind of got fried during the time was actual telegraph lines. Not telephone, telegraph. Like, doot, like, from station to station, telegraphs. It was, wait, hang on, it wasn't 1859 either. Oh, okay. September 1st through 2nd, 1859. I bet. I thought it was closer to 1880. I was mistaken. Here we go.
Up telegraph wires and started fires. Our enemies overseas know this is a weak spot too. They've studied it. They know our grid is the soft underbelly. Now here's what really gets under my skin. You get zero warning. None. One moment you're scrolling your phone like any normal Tuesday. The next moment, every system propping up your life is simply switched off. No countdown, no alarm. But here's the good news, and there is good news. Staying alive doesn't require a mountain of cash. Not even close. There are cheap, boring, easy to find items sitting on store shelves right now. Stuff you can buy for spare change. These things will keep you breathing long after the lights quit for good. These are the items that don't care about voltage spikes. They outlast every gadget.
Wait, what?
And when desperation...
Why is he saying keep you breathing? That air is not going to be a... Air is not going to be a problem. It's anything that... Not necessarily electricity, definitely things that have integrated circuits. Things that are exposed when it hits. Things that run on electricity aren't necessarily going to be impacted. Especially if shielded when it happens, or... And also, being turned off doesn't necessarily, change anything on how it impacts. Adventurous Armaments, welcome in. You think I have grids? Wait, am I still showing? No, we finished that up. That show's over. We're doing a little bit of just prepper talk right now. Are you saying I have coordinates of something?
Kicks in, they turn into trading gold. So let's get into it. Here are the cheap items you should be stocking before the next EMP rolls through. Let's count them down. 12 candles, your quiet source of light. When the pulse hits,
I mean, that's
fancy
yeah,
smartphone
that's
is
right.
nothing more than pretty glass paperweights. The simple candle steps up. Don't laugh at it. This humble little stick of wax has been lighting up your nights for thousands of years. Candles are some of the cheapest, most dependable light sources ever invented by anybody.
This is a little bit silly to just say candles. like wax versus what the picture in the last picture was just oil with a string. Like that's not wax, that's just oil in a jar with a wick. A candle can be a lot of things.
Thousands of years old. Trim the surface a little, and some still catch a flame. Let that sink in for a second. Now think about trading value. In a blackout world, candles become worth more than you'd ever guess. During major city power outages, candles have traded hands like they were treasure. A 12-pack costs you less than a fast food combo meal today.
Yeah, adventurous armaments. I can see what you're saying.
You can warm small bits of food over the flame. You can sterilize a needle or blade. Most of all, you keep your spirits up when the night stretches on forever. There's a practical tip here too. Store your candles flat, not standing up. Heat can warp them over years on a shelf. Keep them away from sunlight and humidity. A simple plastic bin in a closet works perfectly. Consider variety as well. Tea lights are cheap and great for short tasks. Tall pillar candles burn longer for bigger rooms. Tapers fit into holders for a steady, hands-free flame. Mix your stockpile so you've got...
Also, like, there's no downside to having a bigger candle. It's just how much and how many and where you're gonna store them. You should have a lot of them. But even if you don't, you can just having extra, like, wick material. You can take a big candle and turn it into a bunch of little candles by putting it into little jars or whatever, like these things. Oh, wait, is that Zach? No, I did not know that's you. That's... Wait, what is Adventurous Armaments? What are you doing?
For each moment. And don't forget the holders. A candle with no base is a fire hazard waiting.
Wait. Oh, the music is... was entirely too loud.
Grab a few cheap metal holders or sturdy jars. A house fire in a post-EMP world is a death sentence. There's no fire.
Oh man, I had a long day.
Some holders and a backup pack.
I went and just joined grids. Like,
underestimate the quiet little candle. 11.
I was going to like go do judging, but he already had
After an EMP knocks everything flat, salt
some questionable judges.
I'm dead serious about this one. Let me give you the hard truth. Every single human body needs roughly 500 milligrams of sodium a day. Your cells need it. Your nerves need it to fire. Your muscles need it to contract. Skip it for too long.
Yeah, salt. Okay, salt. Yes, salt is.
And dangerous electrolyte crashes. Now picture your kitchen after the grid dies. Your fridge is a warm box. Your
And it's
is
not.
a sad little puddle.
Salt is not just for human intake too. You use it for preservation. Like a 50-pound bag of salt is a good start. Pick them up at Costco. Usually.
Food preservation just collapsed overnight across the whole country. This is where salt charges in like a hero. Salt was the original refrigerator, long before electricity existed.
Oh, there we go.
It preserves meat, fish, and
Talking about
vegetables from
preservation.
fermenting. People relied on these exact methods for thousands of years. According to USDA figures, properly stored salted meat can last up to 18 months.
You bet.
That gap right there is the difference between starving and surviving. Salt has always been worth fighting over too.
Wait, Zach, you were on Grid's show earlier tonight, and they said you lost? I'm usually when I'm on Grid's debate show, I'm a judge, not a contestant. It's a little suck because like I would like to win some money also, but I'm much more valuable to that show and for making everything happen as a judge. Like it's just better for me to do that. I joined way too late to do that though. Oh well, Zach. I would say you want to come and talk about it. I don't know. I need to set. Yeah, if you want to, actually, yeah, I can make this work. Face cam presenting. There we go. I can move. Not alerts, but this guy. Why is... Because I didn't see. If you want to, you want to do a review, like a quick one. Yeah, jump in my Discord, dude, if you wanna. I don't know how my Discord got to be the place where, like, random people connect with each other and, like, talk about their things, but apparently it is. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, let's, I mean, let's do this. I was doing a reaction to, I didn't realize it was an AI video, because the clickbait title should have alerted me, however, like, hey, I can use this as a prompt to maybe talk about some real things. Okay, give me just a sec. I gotta add.
Testing.
Oh, testes 1 2 3, sir. Hello, test 1 2. Okay, you can hear me. Hang on, I gotta add this to a thing, but you're. I think you say something again.
Yes.
Oh, it's using the same test one. Okay. Do an audio check again. I'm adjusting.
Yes, I checked the audio under your nuts. Yes.
I checked the audio. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Let me add. Window capture. Add existing Discord.
Is that what we're doing?
Rump live. Is that? Ah, there we go. I can just add this.
Fuck you. You're a fucking wanker. We're gonna kick you right in the balls.
Oh. Somebody likes Ailstorm.
Yeah, it's race car.
Yeah, Race Car and Grumple. Good evening, Zach and Kate. How y'all doing tonight?
How you doing, bro? Cheers.
Living a dream, sir. So you did a debate on Grid's show tonight that you don't think was necessarily the fairest of all things?
I wouldn't say it was. It's not the debate was unfair. It's that the judges were not fair. Not
Yeah,
least of which,
that's troublesome, especially if you have new judges that haven't judged things before. Which it sounded like Tyler's judged before. The other two.
Considering one of my judges was a genocidal, man-hating witch, I don't think I'm gonna get a fair shake from that person. You know.
If that's an accurate depiction, then I would tend to agree.
It's pretty much accurate, yeah.
Is that witchy bishy? Is that? I don't know that I've ever actually talked to her before.
Yes, that's her.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a self-proclaimed witch, anti-natalist, and I haven't heard her say it, but listening to her, I get the feeling she's not fond of men.
Does anti-natalist mean doesn't like babies?
Yes, thinks there needs to be no more babies.
That's even worse than nihilism. That's extinctionist.
Exactly. Hence I said genocidal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then that's entirely accurate then.
Yep.
have a tendency to think that humans are literally parasites while forgetting that they are human themselves.
No, I don't think they forget they're human at all. I think they hate themselves most of all.
I mean, that's probably.
So yeah, she was one of the judges, and then the other two judges, one of the other judges did not give me a fair shake on the slippery slope fallacy because it's not a fallacy, it's a principle of human behavior, and when I adequately describe something that
Wait, pull up.
happens,
Give me a link, a timestamp of like when your debate was. I'll pull it
oh,
up.
I couldn't even begin to give you a timestamp. I can fucking link it.
Okay, we can run through it and just look.
If they're not still alive, I don't know. Sometimes the video won't let you go back. I don't know if that's a channel setting.
Oh no, if the channel is live, which it's not right now, but if the channel is live, you can on YouTube, you can always go back.
Not on Andrew Wilson's stream.
I would need to check because I
It will
don't
not
think
let
that
you
he
go
can.
back.
I don't think there's any settings you can do that prevent that. But
We
need to
just
check.
had it up just earlier. Okay, why is it not?
I don't know.
Okay, so let's look.
Okay,
at,
hang on. I sent. There we go.
Where did you DM it or
Okay,
would you send it?
I was on. I haven't sent or DM'd it yet. Hang on. So okay, hang on. This is the episode. I'll put it in the chat if it even shows up.
Yeah, I closed it already, so that would just help.
Do you want me to DM it to you?
Or whatever, like DM or the side chat, either one.
Okay, yeah, side
Yeah,
chat.
DM's
There we
fine.
go.
Whatever.
Side chat. There you go. Yeah, I have no idea what the timestamp would be.
Oh, we could just kind of jump through it real quick.
There we go.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that didn't actually copy it. I need to copy the actual copy. Can I copy the link?
This is after the debate.
Okay.
If you wanna try to convince me and the world that two people consensually breeding so that they produce a higher quality of offspring is somehow immoral, I'll debate you on that.
It does seem, actually 19 or what? For 100 years, that's just a side machine.
The name Orson Welles, I know, right?
Do you know roughly what time it was when you went on?
That's what I'm zoning in on right now. I'm about to give you a really close timestamp.
That.
Oh, you had Flo. Beth was on for a little bit.
All right, so
We do that.
Glenn was on for
I
a
do
little
have some debate topics. Is it taken access to doctors and treatment a net positive, or is it you have a Canadian who is
Oh,
an
Trippy
expert
showed
on
up.
that?
That's interesting. Was it before or after Emmett and Flo? Do you know?
No.
Oh,
But wait,
favorite subject.
Nobody cares. Why?
You might not know who these people are. Okay, my bad.
Which people?
Emmett and Flo. Who he's
I've
powder dusty now.
encountered Emmett. I've encountered Emmett a few times. I don't know who Flo is.
Flo is the powder dusty now. It's like he still has both channels.
I don't know who he is.
He was the guy in the white shirt that was he technically won, I think, the entire thing tonight.
All right. 3 hours, 12 minutes, 44 seconds.
Okay, I see. Oh, it's you versus Paige. Okay, hang on. Let me share.
Yep, she requested me.
I think there's a pop-up happening somewhere, and I'm not sure of it. Wait, can you? Would it be? Would you be able to share?
You mean like through Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Because I'm clicking share your screen, and it's like I got 5 monitors to parse through, and I'm not. Okay.
That's too many monitors.
Okay, so give me just a second to reorganize the stream thing so that we're just showing Discord.
Watching Grumple stream. While I stream Grumple stream on Grumple stream.
Streamception.
Yeah. Yo, dog, I heard you like to stream, so we put a stream in your stream that you're streaming in while you stream.
I thought you weren't supposed to cross the stream stuff.
Hey, fun fact. Okay, the Ghostbusters like revamped game that is basically the third part of the trilogy of Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, and 3 with the original cast. It's on sale right now if you're interested in that at all. I'm probably going to stream it later. Like later on at some point.
Was this for the OG PlayStation or something like that?
No, it's a new game.
Oh,
okay. But it's on sale, or it's on sale right now. Hang on, let me see. When did it come out? Ghostbusters.
I didn't even hear this was going to be a thing.
Yeah, it came out in 2019. It's got the original cast, Egon, Venkman. Yeah, just if you're interested in that, it's on sale currently. Oh, okay, we gotta change. Can you? No, you probably can't. That's troublesome. Okay. Oh, you're sharing my video of it. That's okay. That was.
Well, I can. Well, Grumple,
No,
I
that's fine. That's fine. Share that. Oh no, this.
Well, yeah, I was just saying. I flipped over to your stream really quick to see what you were doing. Like I had this video up and ready the whole time. I was just waiting to see if you were sorted yet.
Okay, I just need to. Here we go. Window capture. Blank that one, and now we are good to go.
Okay. Okay. You should have communicated a little bit. Okay, let me put my fucking headphones on.
Oh, and there we go, presenting the as presented. If you can frame that down, which I don't know if you can on Discord, unless you do it in OBS and then present that. Yeah, either way, this is fine. This is fine.
You ready?
Are you ready? Are you listening to Korn right now? What's going on?
No, I'm not listening to Korn.
What about Shub Nigurath?
Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna hit play. Come out on a 100% rock solid, but
You know, that's the only
Yeah, turn that
debater
volume up,
listen
dude.
I've ever had.
No kidding.
He says yes, right?
Oh yeah, he absolutely
Yeah.
says yes.
I agree. Yeah.
So the debate is paternity tests should be 100% required.
Yes.
Mandatory.
Mandatory.
Can you turn the volume up anymore? Into the shared?
Nope, that is max.
Okay, I'll turn it up over here and.
No, I can't. I can't get behind that.
Perfect. I can. Will you debate it?
Test 1,
I'll
2.
debate that.
Okay, there we go.
All right, let's go.
Add to the timer. Yeah, you guys pay, and I'll add to the timer. All right, you guys each get 1 minute. The AVG, you are the affirmative, therefore you will go first, and you will close, starting your minute when you start talking.
Paternity tests should be mandatory for a variety of reasons. However, the simplest are this. Women often weaponize paternity for financial gain. We know that there is an incentive for them to do so. Mandatory paternity testing costs very little money and would benefit men as a whole greatly. With that, I yield.
18 seconds. That's ballsy. All right. Anytime you're ready, Zach. Is it Zach?
Yeah,
I
you
got
can
that
go
right?
by
Okay,
Zach,
great.
adventurous, whatever you want to say.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Anytime you're ready.
Paternity tests should not be mandatory for the same reason that no medical procedure should be mandatory. The government does not have the right, whether it's in my supposed best interest or not, to force me to submit genetic data or submit to any kind of testing. And the same applies to my spouse, girlfriend, whatever, and my supposed child. If me and the child's mother both decline testing, it is our right to forbid that testing. The state coming into that relationship and saying, no, the test has to happen is a direct violation of my right to privacy and the rights of my child. I won't stand for it.
Yeah. Do you believe that?
Pause.
Oh, sorry, Grid.
No,
that's
that's
good.
Pause it.
perfect. Just give me 1 second.
Zach.
He was a little early, but somebody's texting me.
Okay, on your opener, you should have made it a Fourth Amendment issue.
Which one is the Fourth Amendment?
You should be secure in your possessions and property and papers.
Well, that's the right to privacy, ain't it?
Yeah. But making it a constitutional issue would have, in your opener, would have been a really strong place to start from.
Well, I don't know the amendments by heart, but I know about the implied right to privacy in our legal system.
Well, maybe, I mean, it's only a couple sentences for each one. Maybe that's something to, if you want to compete in this space, bringing up constitutional issues as part of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Does make sense. I'm giving constructive criticism here.
I'm not arguing with you. It's just not an area that I think I want to focus on.
In this case, that would have been like, that is literally the argument you were trying to make, but you didn't know it.
Well,
that the government shouldn't be able to take stuff from you without your knowledge.
I don't normally focus on constitutional issues. This was a spur of the moment debate that I didn't get to prep for. I literally was invited to this tonight, and I got on, and we chose a topic. Like,
well, I'm giving you the feedback that I would have picked up on. This is a Fourth Amendment issue. I can make the case, and maybe that would have swayed the tide in your favor.
Right, Grumple. But what I'm saying is, I can't learn everything about every issue. And so I spend my time learning about the stuff that I really care about and want to be good at debating on. And if because of that, I don't know everything about some other topics, oh well.
I mean, just to counter that, you should probably be aware of the Fourth Amendment, because that's what's protecting you, like in a police encounter, that you don't have to give them things that you don't want to, just because they ask for them.
Supposedly.
Well, no. If you don't consent, and then it comes out in court later, if you never consented and a Leo takes something from you that you didn't consent to, then that becomes non-admissible, or your lawyer will be able to deal with that. Generally, the first, fourth, and fifth amendments are probably the most important things that you definitely should know. Everybody should be aware of these, especially when dealing with law enforcement, because that's what Under the Fifth Amendment, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to answer questions. But you do have to invoke that right. You have to say something to the effect of, under the Fifth Amendment, I invoke my right to remain silent, and or say you have to verbalize it now, because there's the court, there's precedent now. You have to verbalize it. It's not just implied, it's not just implied that you have to say, I can't answer any questions without the presence of legal counsel.
Isn't that a bullshit double standard? I have to declare my right so that the state knows that I'm exercising my right.
Oh no, it is.
But at the same time, but at the same
It 100%
time,
is, but that's what legal precedent.
Grumple, let me finish. Grumple, let me finish the point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, ignorance of the law is no defense. Isn't that a double standard?
It's not just double, it's multiples.
Yeah, exactly.
But the current way to protect yourself safety, as defined by multiple courts, I think, is that you have to now declare that you're invoking the right to remain silent. Else, it can be used against you, unless you say, I'm invoking the right to remain silent.
Which is just the state bullying me around my rights.
Yeah, it is. It 100% is.
Yeah, we should have started shooting these people a long time ago.
I mean, if George Washington was here, bodies would have been stacked already, enough to make a wall to, like, keep Louisiana safe from Hurricane Katrina.
Correct.
Please go ahead.
Loading. You
I'm
may
gonna listen.
start,
Step away for a
and
moment.
when you start talking, I'll start the timer for 5 minutes.
Yeah, so hospitals frequently process sensitive genetic information. Why do you not trust them to process this?
It's not that I don't trust the hospital staff. It's that when you talk about making something mandatory, now it's mandated by law. Now we're getting the government involved. There's extra regulations. The government has to parse through that data and have You think it's cute? She's trying to be Jay.
Yeah.
That's funny. Access to it to make sure it's happening by law necessarily. So what we're really talking about is, hey, Big Daddy government, build a genetic index of your citizenry. That will end well. Minority Report totally wasn't a warning or anything.
Yeah, so the government doesn't force us to do stuff all the time. Like, I don't know, like vaccinations.
And do you like that? Do you think that's a good
What
thing?
does it matter if I like?
Hey, we shouldn't let the government do this thing to us, but they already do so many other things to us. That's not an argument.
Wait, did she say flu vaccinations?
She said vaccinations, yeah. She didn't say flu, but she said vaccinations.
I mean, vaccinations aren't they're not required by law. It's a parent's choice.
Maybe they aren't here. I don't know about Canada. They might be in Canada.
Let's excuse me, sir, just for proper naming conventions. It's Canuckistan.
Sure, dog. You're the expert on these things.
You're welcome. Push play.
Is it a net good for society? Yes or no?
No.
So you would like people to just be running around giving other people polio? You would like that? That would be good for you?
This is going to turn into an anti-vax debate, huh? Look, the
No, it doesn't need
polio
to.
vaccine actually curing polio is historically dubious when you look into a convergence of factors that were happening around the same time.
Curing and
But let's
preventing are
say,
different things.
For the benefit of the doubt, that the polio vaccine was the single-handed cure for polio, and it eradicated it hands down, and making everyone get the vaccine was a great thing. Explain to me how that same principle, how making people get DNA testing for their children, submitting their genetic data, explain how that has a moral equivalency to the polio vaccine.
Right. So we already know that there's a lot of fraud that goes on with respect to paternity and custody disputes and so on and so forth. It's a very simple thing to take saliva or blood at the time of a baby being born. And they don't even need to keep it on record. They can just simply verify that the father is...
'Cause that happens.
The mother says he is. And then...
Pause.
What?
Pause. Because, yeah, every single entity... Oh, I'm sorry, Kate. You're not as loud. I didn't know you were talking. Please, Kate, What were you saying?
She was just saying something about our snack. Finish, Crumple.
Oh, well, thank you. The thing is that even though deleting can be a requirement, all that is a check in the box that says that on an audit that can be, you know, I've had to do a lot of audits on data compliance, like HIPAA, SOX, Sarbanes-Oxley, like a lot of audits in my professional career. There's a lot that goes into it, and you can pass an audit and be just atrocious with all of it. If you just click delete, but then all that information is still on your backups for 7 years, like, did it really get deleted? Well, no, because nothing actually gets deleted in a redundant system for quite a while. Eventually, the information will age off, but it's retrievable for a very long time. Just deleting. Now, honestly, I'm a proponent of both sides in this. I could have put her down on this one. But that's from like the different perspectives. Please continue. Unless you have something else to add.
And it can just discard the data. It's just for the purposes of verifying that the child is actually been fathered by that man. That's all it is. And it eliminates a huge amount of fraud. It secures men, right? Because you know, have you heard the saying that, you know, if the evidence proves that you're right, what's the harm in producing it?
I can't say I have heard that saying. It makes sense though.
It's a court
Here's
saying.
the harm. Here's the harm in producing it. It never is just a one-time thing with the government. Regulations
Slippery
never
slope
shrink.
fallacy.
It's slippery slope is not a fallacy. It's a principle of human behavior.
It is a fallacy. It's literally a fallacy. It's the slippery slope fallacy.
I reject that is a fallacy. The people that decided that were a fallacy were simply wrong.
That's just in, guys. The people who invented the slippery slope fallacy were too dumb to understand that it wasn't fallacious at all. It's just naturally human nature.
The slippery slope is human nature. And that's biblical, by the way. Humans slip further and further into sin and degeneracy the more they're exposed to it. That's biblical. The slippery slope is not a fallacy. It's not a
correlative. You're comparing the government taking a step to secure men and their finances
because the government always expands power. The government always reaches further.
Hey, put pause.
Always goes the next.
See, here's where having a little bit of like just knowing the amendments off the top of your head, you would have been able to totally shut her down.
How?
It's it's straight still Fourth Amendment. You're trying to describe it, but you're unable to articulate to something that she can't argue, which Fourth Amendment is, hey, to be secure in your effects and papers, essentially, is what that is. That's including the government not taking your DNA. That's covered 100% the Fourth Amendment. The entire argument, like, that would be the basis, the foundation for me taking this debate. If you want to be in the debate space, you got to have, I mean, some foundations of things that aren't exactly your interests. The Constitution, if you're going to argue about anything inside the United States, just seriously, the biggest moneymaker is just memorizing the first, fourth, and fifth, or the gist of them. And that, like, you would have shut her down entirely with this one. With the fourth.
Oh, you can't hear him.
Oh. Hi, Kate.
He said hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Inch, if you give the government a centimeter, they take a mile in a couple of years. That's what they always do. It's not a fallacy if it keeps happening.
Okay, so it's been demonstrated in other ways, so you think it's going to be the same here. I'll take that argument. Where exactly do you think it's going to go, Zach?
Well, like I said, I think a genetic database of everyone is literally a couple of years after we mandate genetic testing. A database is the next thing. After that database, Now we're going to start having death panels, just like they did to Charlie Gard in the UK. Oh man, your kid is 70% likely to be born with this horrific
pause.
deformity. We're just going to terminate the pregnancy.
What the thing that you're describing, it already exists. It wasn't intended to be, but it already exists. The Second Amendment covers. However, there's not supposed to be a federal database of firearms owners. However, there is. Anytime a 44, like anytime, so firearms transfer forms is a 4473 form that all FFLs have to keep, and that's dealers, any manufacturers, whatever. Anytime a firearm gets through a professional, an SOT, a special occupational taxpayer, that's through an FFL, a federally licensed federal firearms license, FFL. Anytime that happens, a form 4473 happens, and that is a transfer of ownership form now currently the way they get around it is that the dealer or FFL keeps it on hand. However, when that dealer retires his FFL, that information goes to the ATF. Ergo, making a federal firearms registry, a database. That's not supposed to be happening. However, due to policy that is not informed by law, that's what's happening. And then the second piece, I'm sorry, rewind just a little bit. What was the second piece?
Pregnancy now. I don't send after that database. Now we're going to start having death panels, just like they did to Charlie Gard.
That's an actual thing.
Okay.
Like pause. Yeah, that's an actual thing happening in Kanukistan. There are actual death. Like call it what you want. Actual death panels.
You think I don't get there?
Oh no, just I'm reacting now. I'm giving feedback. You mentioned the UK, not Canada though. So
Well, it's the UK, it's Canada, Norway, Denmark. A bunch of them are doing
it's a lot of it because it's if you're using taxpayer money to now do healthcare, well then it's implicit that you have to find out, does this make sense for spending for the taxpayer money? That's just a business decision at that point. So death panels are an inevitability. Which I'm saying that would have been the argument to use if that's not what you did already.
Well,
please.
Again,
if I jumped ahead, please continue.
Is 70% likely to be born with this horrific deformity. We're just going to terminate the pregnancy now. I don't want to terminate my pregnancy. Yeah, but it's for the best of the gene pool, so we're going to do it too anyways. That's where it goes. It's always.
That's very Warhammer
Canada
coded.
Is killing people with MAID. Norway is killing people. Denmark is killing people. This is just what governments do.
Just gish galloping. Okay, great. So in this case,
it's 100% relevant.
That was not a gish gallop at all.
No, it wasn't. And see, this is, like I said, it's not a gish gallop. It's 100% relevant. You're gish galloping, bitch. You first of all, you incited slippery slope when that was not a slippery slope fallacy. Then she incites gish gallop when I don't think she actually understands what these things are.
Which then it's what you just said. It's important that the judges know what all these things are. Like I judge for grid, or I have historically judged for grid like fairly frequently, and then other judges say, hey, I wish I had heard you say your piece first before I judge because that would have impacted me. I've been doing this for quite a while, dude. If you lost this one, which you said you did, it's because you lost it. She didn't win it. It's because you lost it. Just because of like a few little tweaks. But let us continue.
The government, right, takes our blood all the time. Have you ever gone for blood tests? What do you think do you think they're storing that information?
Okay, maybe it's different in Canada. The government does not take my blood. I have never submitted any data to the government except when I tried to join the military. Private companies who are only slightly more trustworthy, by the way, take my blood.
Okay. Yeah, in Canada, it's the government that's providing the service. You go to a public health facility, and yes, They take your blood, and I'm assuming that they don't keep that. What use could they have for that information, Zach? What use could they possibly have for a blood test that
What
determines
use-
whether or not a baby is fathered by a man?
That's time, lady and gentlemen. Zach, it's your honor.
Yeah. To close?
Yes.
Got it. So, my opponent finished off with what they will do with
DBO
that
in the
information.
house. Hey,
I
buddy.
think it's a great idea to answer that question. Again, they will build a database. They will weed out the genetically weak. They will look for things they don't like. There's genes that alter your behavior. There's genes that alter your IQ. There's genes that make you more or less obedient. You think the government doesn't want the ability to tailor the citizenry to be more governable?
Governable.
I rest my case.
Fair enough. Paige?
Great. So my opponent's entire position rests on a slippery slope fallacy. Yes, a fallacy that somehow the government, because he hates the government, I get it. You know, paranoia is a thing. Is out to in some kind of move.
Hey, Grumple, I don't like the government because they do horrible shit all the time. That makes me paranoid.
I mean, seriously, right? It's the patriarchy. You see, it's a racism.
I fucking hate this bitch.
See, I've known her for like I think a couple of years now, and it's she's trying to get out there. She's not the best debater though. She's working on it. Just objectively, but it's a lot of its experience, and so she's trying to get that experience right now. Just like you're a little bit of a novice at doing these forum type debates, especially like an impromptu, like, hey, here's a topic, go. It's a lot of doing well in it is just experience to notice and getting familiar with the logical fallacies. There's like a chart that that has just all of them, and then like I have previously, I don't have it up currently, but when I was more in the debate space, I had the chart up, like printed, just that I could glance at and like, oh, this is because it's a playbook. It's literally being able to look at the playbook of your opponent. If something happens and you can say, oh, well, you're doing a no true Scotsman. Well, let me counter that with ba-ba. It's like just being able to see what your opponent's doing behind the scenes, and not knowing them, because some of them are a little bit more obscure, but not knowing them is a detriment. You're starting out at a place of lower, like you're starting out way, okay, let me if Racist Car was here, he would love this. If you're supposed to be starting just like a 1v1 race, you're starting yourself way behind the line by not knowing just logical fallacies, which is I'm not sure. No, it would have helped in this case. Either way, I digress.
Genetically alter the population into subservient twats. How are they going to do that through paternity testing? Are they just going to stop people from breeding? It's no logical sense in terms of where he thinks this is going to go, and he still can't provide any rationale for the other steps the government takes already without our wanting
Those
to
aren't
have
relevant
that
to the
done.
debate.
This is just a fact of living in a society
Push
that is
pause.
governed. This is just reality. This is not rocket.
Was this during her? Hang on. Was this during her final closing statements?
Yeah, this is her closing.
Okay. 100%. The counter for what she just said. Please tell me if I guessed right, if you said this or not. But 100% what possible use could it have to retain genetic marker DNA data? Well, so that can be used in these death panels is a very valid, like that would have been.
Well, this is her closing. I don't get to rebut.
Well, you do, because wait, hang on.
No, I had mine first, and she gets the final word.
Oh,
I had
Grid.
my closing, then she does hers.
Wait, what? Hang on. What? So, paternity testing. Grid does the okay, so the affirmative goes first, and then the negative goes second. The way Grid does it, with both the
Bro,
opening
I'm
and the
not telling
closing.
you how he normally does it, or I'm telling you what happened. Okay, I did my closing first, and then she did her closing.
She was on the affirmative, and she got to speak last.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna DM Grid about that one.
I mean, I'm not worried about it, dude. It doesn't.
No, just
matter.
as far as process, as far as making a show, that's very important that it be consistent. If this does not match up what he usually does, then push play though.
Science to understand, okay? If you like it or don't like it, doesn't really matter unless you want to leave that society. You're fucked. And with that, I yield.
All right. Well, let's bring back everybody and
Find the swab.
This is going to be pretty interesting. All right. So,
Great. I have to say, I am the real winner because I wanted this debate, and
I know you did. I know.
You know,
it is the gayest thing that you continuously do. It is the dumbest argument ever.
He does
and
so many gay things.
Hold on, I'll get into it. I'll get into it.
Glenn
Let
is
me,
big
let-
on
give
this
me a minute.
topic. He's a
First,
big
I will
pro
get into it, I
mandatory
promise.
DNA
I know
testing.
you want me to.
I mean,
It's the
hanging out with
it's the
Uncle
only
Tom is
debate
gay.
that Andrew and I have ever had, and I got him to a stalemate. Go ahead. Who wants to go first of the judges? All right, go ahead, Israeli.
we're Zionists over here, so I guess we let the Israeli go first.
This kind of went an interesting direction for me. It kind of wove off, and it didn't really ever weave back. It stayed off into this weird microcosm tangent, but Paige made some really strong arguments out the gate why it would be good for X, Y, and Z reasons. A couple of those had to be repeated a few times during the debate. Now, the biggest
You're breaking up a lot.
Oh, the biggest counter argument. I
Tyler's
turned down
mic was
maybe I
still
took-
bad when I
Palestine is
joined.
bombing your microphone.
Oh my goodness! So
Palestine's not a real country.
Tell the Palestinians to
Tell
stop.
that to the Palestinians.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, tell the
Judge, please.
Palestinians to stop attacking.
Listen,
them.
I just like Israel. I can handle a 6-on-1 front. It's okay. Anywho,
Free Palestine.
so
Sex life is like.
Paige started out making a great fucking argument right out the gates. Zach actually made some really solid arguments, and he was starting to counter what she was saying, but we kind of got off on this weird tangent where it was fear-mongering. It was a slippery slope, and it was countered with a really good point. Like, we don't have to actually put that in the hands of the government. We can have the government form being signed off on by a doctor. The medical staff just does the testing, throws the data away, and then the government never actually gets a hold of your DNA, and it completely destroyed the slippery slope fallacy. But we kept hearing that same argument over and over right up until the end. Even in the closing, it was mentioned again. I feel like the hypothetical was destroyed there, and that was the only argument that was really trying to addressing her points. Otherwise, her argument stood. I gave it to page 7-3. Congratulations on your revenge.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, Dennison.
So I
Dennison shouldn't
finally
be
get
judging.
to disagree with our, resident Zionist.
Israeli?
He's been doing an excellent job judging these debates, and I think he has a decent take on this as well. I just happen to disagree entirely. The slippery slope fallacy is the fallacy when you call something a slippery slope when there's no evidence of it being a slippery slope. And in the case of the government using initial takes of power in order to take more power and more power and more power, and to keep a database of information against the will of the people that's giving the information, these are things that are called historical facts, not slippery slope fallacies. And I'm honestly on the side of mandatory paternity, but I'm sorry, I forgot the gentleman's name. He made such a good argument against it that Zach, I'm now convinced, and I vote in favor of Zach.
Okay.
Okay. Abe.
Don't fuck this up, Abe.
Yeah,
Wait,
big pressure.
Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. Witchy.
I get to be the tiebreaker. So this is my issue with the argument is the going to the genetic code slippery slope. Paternity tests don't have to contain more than just the data for paternity. Like it's going to cost a lot more money to go down this genetic testing that he implies would be happening more.
It's going to cost a lot more money. Never mind that the data is worth far more money than the amount of money you have to spend on getting the data. Never mind that obvious fact. So fucking stupid.
More than just the paternity test, so I was had a hard time following that slippery slope. I think Page needed to address it more. I from the start was with AVG on this, and I think Zach failed to convince me on the on arguing it. So I'm gonna give it to AVG.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well,
Abe, you fucked up.
Yeah.
What did Abe do?
So first of all, and what may be a record, I agree with Dennison. There was no slippery slope fallacy. It's a fallacy to call when you put something out as a slippery slope when it is not. That's the fallacy. But actually saying that this is an incremental thing that happens over time, that's not a slippery slope fallacy. Zach, you are right on that one. Honestly, your biggest argument fell apart when you got into the genetic material. You should have kept it to government overreach. The government has no place.
I'm really not sure what he's talking about when I got in. The whole debate is about genetic material. I'm not sure what he means by that. Oh shit! Tomorrow's Sunday. Oh fuck.
Well, in the morning it's Sunday.
Oh, I fucked up. I forgot that it.
What?
I forgot that we were supposed to go to church early so we could go to the other church. Fuck.
In our relationships, the government should not tell me who that I have to know who the father of the child is. I get to make that determination. Glenn and Glenn orchestrated a debate between Andrew and I. Where Andrew and I got to a stalemate because I literally said that I would, if there was an Andrew postulated that if there was an infectious disease and every single person on the planet had to have an inoculation or the entire world would die, that would I force people even with a religious objection to take that that injection? And I said no. Absolutely not. I would let the Amish be the Amish. They can be who they are. By the way, when she mentioned that we have federally mandated inoculations and that sort of thing, no, we do not. You can abstain from those. That's wrong, factually incorrect. Most people do not, but you can actually not. You don't have to have your kids genetically altered if you don't want to. But I digress. I bit the bullet and I said that I would rather have every person on the planet die than force someone to do something against their will because the government says so. That's
Grid. You made the point. You made the point, Grid. You made the point, Grid, that if he had left the genetic thing out of it, it would have been better. He actually would have won. That was the one thing that pushed it over to AVG for me.
This is where
that doesn't even, again, that doesn't make sense. What genetic thing? The topic is comparison of genetic data and testing of genetic data. What the fuck are they talking about, dude? How can I leave genetics out of it?
Tyler is an experienced judge. He's pretty good. The other two are not. So I probably should have got done. Like, if I wanted to participate, I probably should have got done with what I was doing a little earlier and hit it up. I might have been able to judge for that, which honestly, because you didn't cite the Fourth Amendment and privacy of your own data and hit a little bit harder on government overreach, I still would have found you to win, but I can't speak for everybody else. That would have made it to unarguable. If you had hit a few different things just as
Bro,
justifications.
my entire argument was about government overreach.
But you didn't cite the Constitution. You didn't there's a few things that this is the constructive feedback where I'm thinking it lesser judges who aren't as well versed maybe definitely, if you don't bring up, hey, this is a constitutionally protected thing, that the government doesn't take your stuff, and then also just me happening to know how enterprise data systems work, that things don't actually get deleted. That is a big friggin' deal on this topic. Where if you could have tweaked your arguments just a little bit, it would have been not a long shot victory. It would have been a clear away, an easy win, another term for that.
Layup.
Is that foosball?
No, layup, if I recall correctly, is basketball.
So you don't play basketball either, nerd. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I turned it off. I'm going to bed, dude.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm
All right, bro.
I run security at the church. I gotta be there in 6-7 hours, something like that. However, I'm not playing. I don't have to do anything in the band. I don't have to read. I just have I only have to do one thing at church in the morning. I just get to run the floor for security. That's all. It's like, oh, this is easy day.
Well, God bless you, man. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. Have a good night, Grumps.
Keep it sexy, man. Oh no, not that. Yeah, that.
Fish and vegetables through curing and fermenting. People relied on these exact methods for thousands of years. According to USDA figures, properly stored salted meat can last up to 18 months. That gap right there is the difference between starving and surviving. Salt has always been worth fighting over too.
Okay.
In medieval Europe.
Thank you, Zach, for coming up.
The word salary actually comes from the Latin word for salt.
DBO.
That's not
DBO TV in the house. Yes, the Fourth Amendment, that's the foundation for the debate that Zach just had. The Fourth Amendment is the foundation of the refute, the no. I know most of the people on that panel. Glenn has been pro-mandatory DNA testing for quite a while. He would have loved to been on, he would have been a lot harder than Paige for that debate. But it's also his style too. He's a lot more charismatic and stuff. But you can't argue with, hey, it's a protected right to not have something forcibly taken from you by government. There are ways to get around that. Like if it were to mandate that the DNA samples cannot be retained on any sort of backup system. If that's the case, I mean, maybe. However, that's super easy to get around either. Also, like, that's if that were to be a thing that were to happen in practice, that would be a way to make it okay. No, this is okay, but there currently is not a way to mandate that because enterprises do backups of enterprise systems, so it would require net new build in the case of any hospital that does baby deliveries. DBO, if search and G0 get it, if there was some way to do it without giving the information to the government. Well, yeah, but then, I mean, not even... I'll take it a step further. Without giving the information to the government, I would say without the medical facility storing it would be the only way that it would be okay. Because I think it has value. I 100% do. There's just the whole giving up your genetic data, which is, I consider your physical location as the number one most protected or most thing that you need to protect the most. Number two is your genetic or biometric data. Because once any entity does not, it's not just governments, once any entity has that, you can be disappeared. It's quite trivial, in fact. If you just, oh no, you're not speaking out on the behest of the government messaging. Oh well. Oh, look at that. It might not be an immediate thing. It might be. I'm having trouble thinking of an example. However, when it's time for you to do your next thing that the government requires you to do, then you can run into trouble. Whether it's like renewing a vehicle registration, which is like once a year, renewing a driver license, renewing a passport, or getting a passport. Any kind of licensing, any kind of licensure, whether it be lawyers or doctors or, even certificates for like professional certificates. Oh, union membership. Oh man, that's probably gonna win some people over. Anything that requires interacting with any organization, because then the organization exists probably with some form of registration under the government, under the federal government, sometimes state, but probably federal. And that's an issue. There's I wouldn't say a conflict of interest, but I would also say that. DBO, if you want to jump up, man, you know where my Discord's at. We can flip it back over like post haste, quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm about to review more prepper stuff before I crash because I only need like 5 to 6 hours sleep, if I even can. I cannot sleep right now, so that's what I'm doing. Voluntary, yes. However, I would also want all that same protection. Like, it can't be stored. It can only be used during the time that it's being done, and then all the information has to be destroyed. I would be okay with that. But then also, yeah, it has to be voluntary. If the father doesn't opt in, no. Like, excuse me, no? What? But, like, how are they going to do that with midwives? Like a midwife situation. This would have been another, Zach, this would have been another thing to bring up. How are they going to enforce that situation with midwives? And the Amish. And, like, something that's unenforceable becomes a BS law. And it reduces the efficacy, that might not be the right word, of all other laws. If you have laws that are not enforceable, that reduces the effectiveness, not efficacy, but effectiveness of all other laws on the books for whatever that organization is, whether it's federal government, state government, city government, county government, or parish, if you're in like Louisiana or whatever. Super wild, right? Yeah, that's because it's a net positive. It's 100%. That's why this is a complicated topic. It's 100% a net positive to enforce that fathers know if they are the father of the baby. However, the way to get there, the juice is not worth the squeeze, in my opinion. As far as making it mandatory, no. If you can opt into it, and that's just something that's, hey, a service that happens as part of standard course when a pregnancy is happening at a medical facility or whatever. It's the juice is not like the government making things mandatory. I'm vehemently opposed to. Like, I mean, if you want to, if you want to get bodies stacked of politicians, that's the way. Start mandating things. If there were to be a leader like George Washington or Texas. Oh, Mr. Ranger, still hanging out. Appreciate it, sir. It is complicated. It's very complicated because it's how many dudes are raising kids that aren't theirs. It's a lot, apparently, because one member of the species apparently cheats like a lot. I didn't like. I wouldn't have believed in it if not for like the numbers of how often this happens, where the dude actually didn't know, or at least that's what's reported. But then there's also making it mandatory. Government and mandatory in me is a non-starter. Like, unless it's mandatory that you do some kind of service in order to vote, or you own land, that being mandatory. That's the only kind of mandatory things from any kind of government that I'm okay with, is it being mandatory that you own land so that you have a stake in what's being done with property taxes, or you've done some kind of service or something that says that you're a part of the situation, like you have some skin in the game. Mandatorily having skin in the game in order to vote, I'm okay with that. That's like the only time I think that I'm okay with anything mandatory from government. But I think we're talking about salt right now.
It's not a coincidence. That's history telling you something.
DBO, that sounds like this would be better as a social movement amongst men. It is. If you're a father, get DNA test and make sure. The thing is that the dudes that it bites are generally not the ones that are suspicious from the get-go, because otherwise they probably would have. I mean, that's about the long and short of it. And then found out that, hey, which you can do DNA testing, I believe. Please, somebody tell me if I'm wrong on this one. I believe you can do DNA testing, like paternity testing, prior to the birth. So having that to where you have, prior to the birth of the child, having that knowledge of, is this mine? That would inform your decision on whether to sign the birth certificate. Because once you sign the birth certificate, you're kind of, I believe there's case law where you're kind of like you're stuck with it. Even if it's not, even if there was some hoery afoot, it's still stuck with you. You're still stuck with it. for 18 years. And that's not to say that, hey, you don't care about the child. I mean, who doesn't care about little babies? But finding out later on, and then there's I believe I've seen like frequently that there's been case law about, oh, I found out that I wasn't the father when 13 years old, and then court saying, oh, well, sucks to be you. You're the father now. Excuse me? That's wild. DBO, man, you can, I mean, do you know where my Discord's at, brother? Asking for it will open up a bad argument with the woman, but that would be a red flag itself. Yeah, if the woman has, like, is secure and the entire conversation does bring up, oh, there's doubt here, which that's a thing. However, there are ways to counter that and say, I mean, hey, this is my legacy. It's not that I don't trust you. There's a hard way. It's hard to justify it without saying you don't trust somebody. But then, well, where do you go from there? It's a really, pardon my French, it's a really shitty situation that you have to be, because of modernity, that you have to be this doubtful of everybody. Like you can't trust anybody. Hardly. It's the rare person that you are able to trust fully these days. I would double my body count to find trustworthy friends. And not the sex version. Not the sex version of body count. Knowing what that entails.
And we've seen it play out in modern times. During Venezuela's economic meltdown, salt prices tripled. People weren't buying it for flavor anymore. They needed it just to stay alive and preserve what little food they had. Here's the beautiful part. Salt costs almost nothing right now. A 2 5-pound bag runs under $10 at a livestock supply shop. Pour it into airtight containers and tuck it away. You've just locked in your survival seasoning. You've also stockpiled something neighbors will trade food, fuel, or even protection for when their meals turn bland and bare. Let me give you a storage tip too. Salt loves to absorb moisture from the air. That's its one weakness. Keep it sealed tight in plastic buckets or glass jars. Toss in a little rice or a silica packet to soak up dampness. Done right, salt lasts essentially forever. There's more to salt than food, by the way. It cleans wounds when dissolved in clean water. A simple saltwater rinse fights infection in a cut. People use salt water to treat injuries for centuries.
I mean, all this is essentially true. I mean, yeah. It's not. I don't believe salt is antibacterial in any way. But if the choice is using salt water versus like tap water, yeah, the salt can help for wound cleansing.
It draws out bacteria and helps things heal.
Oh, it
also
does.
Helps tan animal hides. If you're hunting or trapping after a collapse, that matters.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, because specifically because it does draw out the moisture. It kills the moisture from any bacteria.
For preserving meat. Rock salt handles bigger jobs in bulk curing.
Microbial inhibitor. Oh.
10. Sewing kits, the forgotten arsenal. When an EMP hits, fashion is the last thing on your mind, obviously. But here's a twist most folks miss. Clothing durability suddenly becomes a genuine survival issue. Ripped pants mean exposed skin, torn jackets mean creeping cold, and the risk of hypothermia. And those big stores packed with brand new clothes today, those shelves will be stripped bare within hours of a real crisis. So in walks the cheap, totally overlooked sewing kit. A handful of needles, some heavy thread, and a small pair of scissors.
This is true. A good thing to get beforehand is you can get like $100, maybe $200-300 now with inflation. An old school like treadle sewing machine and or an industrial, commercial or industrial sewing machine, which are, I mean, usually they're going to be electric, but be able to handle material that's a lot thicker and harder to work with than a standard sewing machine. The ones that run on a treadle, though, I mean, there's no downside. It just takes up a little bit of space that you have to deal with. I mean, maybe put in a garage, something, maybe an attic, until it's needed. The actual, it's usually like leather. It's called a leather thong. It's called a leather thong. The strip of material that's used between the treadle, the thing that the feet move back and forth, and then the spindle on the sewing machine. So you want to get your thong in order to have redundant sewing capacity. I think that's the way to say that correctly. Well, no, Ranger, yeah, not all bacteria, but a good amount. That's why salt has been used for preservation of meat for like forever. That's why that's like one of the points that this video is not really hitting, or maybe tangentially, but yeah, salt has been a high value thing like forever.
That little kit can stretch the life of your clothing and gear by years. Think back to the Great Depression. Families patched and mended the same garments dozens of times over. Some passed a single coat down through 3 generations without blinking. Military records back this up too. Troops carrying field sewing kits kept their uniforms usable around 70% longer. That cut down supply demand in a big way.
We have the meats.
But honestly, this goes way beyond clothes. A sewing kit
Oh no, DBO, I didn't realize when I clicked on it that this was it 100% is AI slop. That's why I'm using it as like a basis to do commentary, because I mean, it's doing the work, like the pre-work for me. All I have to do is just hit play on it and then do commentary, and then, you know, every so often, and then it becomes educational and transformative without me having to do any kind of research on it or like put together the videos, because this is all AI. This is 100% an AI slop video. But however, it can be a springboard for me to talk about, like, hey, a little bit of actual knowledge from a human on these kind of topics. So yeah, it definitely is. And Ranger, yeah, half of YouTube being AI slop is like, that's a generously, I think, underestimation. The thing is, the AI slop, if you can automate it, the AI slop works for making money. It does. Get on board with that, and like, I mean, I may or may not be working on such type of things, but I'm gonna, I want mine to be not like actual slop, like to have some real information in them. No thanks. Well, I mean,
patches tents. It fixes torn backpacks. It stitches tarps back together. And in a true emergency, a sterilized needle and thread can close a wound. Yes, that needle could actually save somebody's life one day. Right now, you can grab a basic kit for under $5 at any dollar store. In a world where you can't order new boots online or click to buy a fresh jacket, this matters. The person who...
Yeah, being able to fix boots. That's what I was talking about, getting an industrial sewing machine. And being a cobbler and being able to fix boots. That's not what your $5 sewing kit is going to do. That's not a thing. Panzer M4 Speed Pro burn down next week. Is that, hang on, the last... Oh, Panzer M4 Pro. That's the Turknelli. That's the Ambi Turknelli. Yeah. Yeah, I want to throw tomatoes.
Who keeps gear stitched and patched, holds the line against the cold in the wild. Small, quiet, and completely EMP proof. This is survival smarts at its simplest. Let me push this a little further. Not all sewing kits are equal. Skip the flimsy travel kits with tiny thread spools. Build your own instead. Grab heavy-duty upholstery thread, leather needles, and strong scissors. Add a thimble so you don't shred your fingers. Throw in some safety pins too. They hold things together in a hurry when you can't sit and stitch. Add a few buttons, snaps, and a yard of spare fabric. That fabric becomes patches, ties, or bandages when you need them. And learn the basic stitches now while you can watch a video. A simple running stitch and a backstitch cover most repairs. Practice on an old shirt this week.
Dude was... Hang on, let me back this up.
Watch a video. A simple running stitch and a...
This is the same style of... Like, this might actually be a Singer. It looks like the same dimensions as a Singer. This is a dude hand cranking. Which, I mean... If you can two-man it, hand cranking might be worth the size and weight savings of having that same machine inside a treadle desk type of situation. But the treadle desk is going to be way better because that makes your feet operate what his hand is doing, and so you have two hands to then do the sewy stitchy stuff. This is a dude hand cranking, yeah.
And a backstitch cover most repairs. Practice on an old shirt this week. The skill...
That's...
They hold things together in a hurry. They hold their fabric. That fabric becomes patches, ties, or bandages when you need them. And learn the basic stitches now while you can watch a video. A simple running stitch and a back...
This is the actual sewing machine from a Singer. And then this is so this big wheel is what will usually have that leather thong strap that goes underneath the table. This is an add-on piece right here. The little rusty kind of addition that's adding a hand crank that turns the big wheel here. Big wheels keep on turning. That usually it's called a treadle, the foot pedal that runs a flywheel that turns the sewing machine this wheel here. And it usually goes forward to backwards, like so counterclockwise as you're looking at it like this.
Stitch cover most repairs. Practice on an old shirt.
Wait, hang on.
Running stitch and a backstitch cover most repairs.
There, you can see it. You can see it like it's running backwards here. You can see it in the video.
Stitches now while you can watch a video.
Or counterclockwise.
And a backstitch cover most repairs. Practice on an old shirt this week. The skill costs nothing but pays off enormously later. A kit is useless if you don't know how to use it. Stock 2 or 3 kits and spread them around. Keep one in your bag, one at home, one in the car. Redundancy is the name of the game in prepping. When supply chains die, the
yeah, that's true.
Checkpoint number 1. Quick break, real fast. If this is hitting home for you, do me a solid. Smash that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button. There we go. That's a good thing we can endorse. Yeah.
Drop a comment with the one item you grab first, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest. All right, back to it. 9. Duct tape. Civilization on a roll. Let's skip the fluff. Duct tape is about as close to real-world magic as we'll ever get. One single roll patches a hole in a leaking bucket. It seals food containers shut. It reinforces falling apart shoes. It secures a busted window. It even works as makeshift medical tape in a pinch. Survival folks at Popular Mechanics put it through the ringer once. They used duct tape to fix a snapped kayak paddle. They patched a leaking tent with it.
This also depends entirely on the quality of duct tape that you get. If you get duck brand, like Quack Quack duck brand duct tape, and that's your thing that you go to, probably not all the stuff that he's talking about. If you got 3M tape or Gorilla tape, maybe. Actual legit duct tape is just like rolls of aluminum these days, and it's a lot more expensive. Stuff that's actually used for ducting. And I have seen it more than once in automotive, used in automotive capacity for vehicles that I've bought and just didn't notice prior to. You don't understand what's going on until you see, hey, why are the brakes on this vehicle janky? And then you look up underneath and there's like some either steel or aluminum like tape essentially wrapped around the brake pedal in order to create the contacts. That's a weird situation. No, Mr. Ranger and Rogue, did I not notice it when it's like up underneath like to where you can't, if you just get in and operate the vehicle, you're not seeing that. It's like up well out of line of sight from it's up against the firewall. Like you need to be on your back, like contorting, being contortionist with a flashlight in order to, oh, that's interesting. Why is that tape there? And then it turns out it's like not the tape that you can just kind of rip. It's either aluminum or steel aluminum or whatever that's also sticky, like stuff that's actually getting used on ducts these days. Nosing it? I don't know what that means. Sure don't.
They even immobilized a fractured wrist using nothing but tape. It just keeps performing. The U.S. military has used over 100 million yards of the stuff on aircraft repairs over the years. Why lean on it so hard? Because it works on...
That is not true at all. That's called 100-mile-per-hour tape. It is not the same as duct tape. It is roughly 12 mil thick, and it has an NSN. 100-mile-an-hour tape is what is being talked about here. This is where the AI slop comes in, and we're not going to tolerate that because that's 100-mile-an-hour tape. You can't just buy that either. There's a seller on Slamazon that appears to be selling it, or was for a while. I picked up a few rolls, or a few cases of rolls. Don't judge me. And it was probably a dude that got dishonorably discharged for stealing from... I mean, I'm not gonna say you know what, I didn't do that. I didn't do anything like that. You can... No, like the stuff that has the NSN, like the real, like the 12, 13 mil stuff, yeah. Anything dermoed if you buy it from Dermo, you can sell too, but none of this would have been dermoed. But anything in the recovery bay in the military, what does in the recovery bay mean? Like stuff if you PCS, if you got out with it, yeah, 100%. Like I had when I got out, I left with 70% of a vehicle and not quite infinite, but close to infinite MREs. Totally legit too. Like there was no shenanigans at all with the quantity of MREs that I had. Cases of MREs, like unbroken cases, that I got out with. And the unfortunate thing is that MREs, I mean, there isn't really a shelf life, but there kind of is. Because, like, I would have to open all of them to pull the M&Ms out in order to save them from old age damage hacks.
Nearly everything, everywhere, with zero power required. That's exactly the kind of reliability you want when the grid is toast. After an EMP, every cracked plastic bin becomes a problem. Every torn tarp, every split hose, every leaky container turns into a liability you can't just replace. With duct tape, you don't toss broken things. You fix them and keep moving. Here's a number worth chewing on. FEMA estimates that during long blackouts, home damage from weather like rain leaks jumps roughly 5-fold. Most of that comes from people being unable to make quick repairs. Duct tape is your instant weatherproofing answer. And the price? It's almost insulting how cheap it is. Under $10 a roll, and one roll stretches over 60 yards. That's around 180 feet of survival insurance for the cost of a sandwich. Grab half a dozen rolls. You've just handed yourself the power to improvise when the world stops making replacements. But let me give you a real talk warning here. Not all duct tape is created equal. The dollar store stuff peels and fails fast. Spend a couple extra dollars on a quality brand. The cheap rolls will let you down at the worst possible moment. Think about all the wild uses too. Wrap duct tape around a water bottle for easy storage. Peel off a strip when you need it. Make a rope by twisting long strips together. Fashion a sheath for a blade. Mark trails by sticking bright pieces on trees. It even handles first aid in a crisis. You can secure a splint with it, you can close a gash temporarily until you stitch it properly, you can make a sling for a hurt arm. It's not pretty, but it works when nothing else is around. One more tip, store your rolls somewhere cool and out of the sun. Heat ruins the adhesive over time. A sealed bin keeps them sticky.
It does. Anything with any adhesive that's already, like, well, the long-term storage of glue is another topic of debate, but yeah, it's having 300 rolls of duct tape to last you the rest of your life. That's not a strategy because they're gonna dry out. I still have, and I think Mr. Ranger wanted to see this. I still have, and I'm going to do this. I tested earlier this week. I tested the new, like, in the shop rig, which I should have been live from that just now. I should have went live from that, but I got to turn it back on. This little guy right here. It's an industrial PC. This is going to be the basis of streaming in the workshop. I think this one's going to be able to get it done. If not, I have all the stuff now connected to it. I'm still working out audio and making sure that it will stay live over time for like 5-6-ish hours, maybe 8. I'm not sure because it definitely froze up the last, like, on Tuesday when I tested it, when I was live from it, just from there live. May or may not be able to do video calls, may or may not be able to do a lot of things because it only has 4 gigabytes of RAM. But that's what I have. I have a few of these things, and hey, you know what? Let's see if it works. If not, I'll upgrade at some point. But to start out, getting back into the, like, streaming from the shop, this is coming up. I need to build a stand for it, like with the camera and then like the wireless mics. The only real issue is the possibly freezing up, and then the mic having some kind of weird noise in between. But I did pick up a new adapter, so maybe not having things directly plugged in rigidly will fix it. Anything in the recovery bay? Stuff not on the books. I mean, yeah, if it's not on the books, if the government isn't accounting for it, then, like, it doesn't exist. Come home from deployment, there's a Connex of shit. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what happened. Dude, I brought most of a car home from Okinawa. Like, my little race car. I brought most of it home from Okinawa in my PCS stuff. Considered lost or destroyed. The boxes of stuff, including tape. I mean, so that's why I jumped on. I picked up, like, I think 8 rolls, and these are like the legit rolls of 100-mile-an-hour tape from that seller, because, like, I was thinking, like, this is not sustainable. That he can't be selling NSN stuff. Like, this isn't a legit, like, channel. This is a limited supply, so pick it up now. So now I have tape that like, the timer has started, essentially.
For years.
You're
Rotate your
junk-loading a
sock
lot?
on. Duct tape is the ultimate fix-it tool, so treat it with respect. 8. Baking soda, the Swiss Army powder. This stuff is not just for baking cookies, not by a long shot. Baking soda is one of the cheapest, most flexible survival items you can possibly stockpile.
Baking
and it's basically indestructible sitting on a shelf.
Baking soda, yeah.
It pulls triple duty. It works as a natural toothpaste. It works as a deodorant. It even stretches your soap supply further. For medical needs, it neutralizes stomach acid.
I want to see if he's going to get into, okay, so if this AI thing is going to get into, like, other chemical bases that you use for just household things, like borax. Borax is 100%. Washing soda, baking soda. Like, these are basics that you should have, and in a decent supply. And if you want to be actually getting ready for things beforehand, and maybe you're a little bit of a prepper, and maybe you're a little bit of a homesteader, or you want to be, start using the stuff and mixing your own things now. Don't wait for, calamity to happen, because it's friggin' cheaper. You don't need, you're paying for convenience plus chemicals that you didn't ask for with commercial products, generally, for, like, cleaning. Whereas if you make your own, let's say, laundry soap with whatever borax and, like, whatever your smell plus sudsy thing plus borax plus washing soda, which is like baking soda. It's very similar, but it's just, you can pick it up. It's like a couple dollars for a big box.
Acid calms itchy insect bites and acts as a mild antiseptic. For food, it earns its keep too.
Vinegar too
absorbs odors and moisture, which keeps.
If you don't want to learn how to make vinegar, which vinegar does, I don't want to say expires. I don't think that's the right word. I get the concentrated stuff. I think it lasts longer, but also it stores better. But vinegar you could be already using for a lot of stuff, mostly cleaning, canning, whatever else. Oh, restoring plastic? Yeah, that's the thing. Restoring things. Vinegar has all, like, just standard basic white vinegar, not even getting into, like, other crazy vinegar like apple cider vinegar, which is way better for your health, or anything like that.
Grains and flour usable longer.
Pickling. You honestly, vinegar is so important. You probably should learn how to make it on your own. I'm not sure if that's even a thing.
But here's where it gets tactical and clever. After an EMP, refrigeration is dead, and spoiled food turns into a silent killer. You can sprinkle baking soda around perishable storage areas to slow bacterial growth. USDA research has actually confirmed this. Sodium bicarbonate slows down microbial development, so it's not merely a cleaner, it's a food safety multiplier working quietly in the background. History backs this up nicely. Households in the 1800s used it for absolutely everything. They scrubbed kettles with it. They tenderized tough wild game meat with it. It was the original do-it-all powder in every pantry. And the barter value is no joke. Its sheer usefulness makes it nearly irreplaceable. A single pound sells for under $2 today. During Venezuela's collapse, cheap multi-purpose items like baking soda and vinegar shot up in price. People simply couldn't afford fancy single-use products anymore.
For baking soda and vinegar, 100%. You're going to make, you got to deal with the additional prices for when your child is trying to make a volcano for a science fair, and because that is unacceptable. It's just, you don't want to deal with that. So you should stock up beforehand. Along with all the, actual useful things. The child science fair project, volcano, the most basic bitch science fair project ever. That's 100% the main reason you should get into it. Mark my words. It'll come up. Plus all of the other things that you can do with it.
Stock 20 pounds in sealed containers. You've handed yourself a pharmacy, a cleaning kit, and a food preserver, all in one EMP-proof package. Let me list out a few more uses you'll appreciate. Baking soda puts out small grease fires in a pinch. Just toss a handful in the flames. It smothers the fire without spreading it. That alone could save your home one day. It also fights odors when...
Hot tip of putting out fires with baking soda. Yes, it can. So can sand. Baking soda is a very fine particulate, though. So you want to make sure not to make a fine particulate cloud when putting out a grease fire with it in the kitchen. Because it can cause an explosion. Like grain silos. That's the warning. I'm putting it out here now, publicly. Be very careful with super fine particulates when throwing them at fire. That might be an AI thing that's not the best advice here, because you could cause an additional flare-up or actual explosion by throwing a a superfine particulate, a flammable superfine particulate at an actual current fire. Nothing will probably happen, but you don't want to be the one where it does.
Bathing isn't an option. Sprinkle a little under your arms as a deodorant. Use it to freshen up stale clothing and bedding. In a world without laundry machines, that's a real morale boost. Nobody wants to smell their own funk all day. For your garden, baking soda has a place too. It treats fungal problems on plants. After a collapse, growing your own food becomes survival itself. A healthy garden means you eat next season. This cheap powder helps protect that harvest. And here's a clever one. Mix baking soda with a bit of water for a paste. That paste cleans pots, scrubs, rust, and polishes metal. It even helps clean teeth when toothpaste runs out. 20 pounds of this stuff is a true survival multiplier. 7. Bar soap, cheap today and priceless tomorrow. Without clean running water, disease spreads faster than fire racing through a dry forest. This is exactly where a $1 bar of soap becomes worth more than a bottle of antibiotics. I know that sounds dramatic, but stick with me. According to the World Health Organization, plain old hand washing with soap cuts diarrhea.
That one sentence, a bar of soap is worth more than a handful of antibiotics. There's actually merit to that because the soap you're going to be using on a constant basis to keep it's prevention. It's like the ounce of prevention, and it's keeping you clean on a constant basis. Versus the antibiotics, which there are like 5 different categories of antibiotics. I think Mr. Ranger can probably speak to that more. And like if you have, say, I don't know, $5, and then you take that $5 and put it into soap, or choose, like, soap is choice A, choice B through F are different categories of antibiotics to have a full course of them. For, I mean, $5 for a course of antibiotics, you probably get a pretty good deal. But the soap is gonna, $5 worth of soap is gonna do you a lot better, because unless you already know when to apply what antibiotic, all those fish antibiotics you're buying aren't gonna help you. And then if you do start taking them and either quit the course early because, oh, I feel better, or whatever, you're just contributing to antibiotic-resistant bugs that do exist right now. Antibiotic stewardship is a thing. And I don't know that I agree with antibiotics requiring a prescription. Like, I think there should be some kind of, like, not an idiot status that you can opt into that would then allow you to buy antibiotics just with no prescription or whatever. Because there's a lot of, I mean, the average IQ apparently is 100. That means that half the people in the world, or, you know, wherever, are under that. You gotta think about that. It's wild. Just buy Jace case, expensive but worth it. The one of the, like, one of the service providers, it's like, I think there's 3 or 4 of them now that are doing, hey, contact us, we'll send you antibiotics, essentially, because you've identified you have a risk and you want to be available, or you want to have the medication available for that risk, and you'll consult somebody who knows before administering them, and blah blah blah. Yeah, there's 3 to 4 last time I checked. I would like to become get them like an affiliate code with at least one of them, because I think that's a great idea for whatever the medications are, whether it's antibiotics or whatever else. I have noticed there's been some changes in the, like, livestock antibiotic availability, I guess I'll say it that way.
Real disease by up to 47%. It also slashes respiratory infections by around 23%. That isn't hygiene trivia for a quiz. That's hard survival math. Look at post-disaster.
Oh, Ranger, you you reached out to them to get an affiliate code to like. Oh man, we're I mean, affiliate like an affiliate code if it reduces it from 700 to even 675, that's a good affiliate code. And like, yeah, I think we're doing like Ranger. We haven't talked about it in a little bit, but I think we're doing like very similar stuff. I'm like, I got my Discord open if you want to talk about any of this stuff, or if you want to do commentary on this video also. Your kickback is $10 for 700. I mean, I'm okay with that. If, dude, I'm okay with $10 kickback for $700 if I referred somebody and that person is now getting something that's helping out. Making anything off of that is like a very net positive. It's not the most beneficial like creator like way to do things, but thanks for letting me know. I mean, I'm gonna reach out. To all of them, unless there's any kind of exclusivity thing. Like, I want to get partner codes, not necessarily just for the kickback, which I mean that helps. It does help out a lot, but to get discounts for things that I'm recommending, because I recommend things regardless of if I'm making money on it. This is my recommendations are based on experience, generally.
Disaster Haiti for proof. Cholera outbreaks there killed over 9,000 people. A huge reason was that clean water and soap were scarce when folks needed them most. Soap doesn't need electricity. It doesn't need refrigeration. It doesn't need any fussy storage. Kept dry, it lasts pretty much forever. And here's the kicker you might not expect. Soap is also a trading weapon. During the siege of Sarajevo in Bosnia, a single bar could trade for a whole day's worth of bread. Why? Because it meant protection against infection when hospitals were completely overwhelmed. Stockpiling 50 bars a day costs less than one dinner out at a decent restaurant. But in a dead grid world, that little pile works like a medical insurance policy. Whether you're bathing, cleaning a wound, or scrubbing your cookware, bar soap slams the door shut on bacteria. In a post-EMP world, you really don't want to be...
Pro tip, also learn how to make soap. So if you have your soap stockpiled, Dove, Ivory, whatever the brand, just bar soap. Also, liquid hand soap, antimicrobial or other, whatever, is also very cheap to buy on Slamazon or Walmart or wherever. Learn to make your own soap. It's not difficult. You can use ash and fat. You can create a soap situation after cooking on a campfire. 100%. I've done it. Generally, that's a very small quantity, and you use the soap that's created to clean the pan or the cooking, utensil that you use to, or flatware. Is that flatware? No, it's not flatware. The skillet or the pan that you use to make the food over the campfire. You use some of the ash. You just put it in the pan. That's it. The fats that are left over in the pan combine with the lye and the ash, and then you just rub it around. Rinse, like you rub and scrub. That's it. It's soap. It'll bind. The lye causes all the rest of the fats and anything that's sticky in the pan to bind to it, and it gets really easy to lift out. You have to do it while it's still a little bit warm, though. After it dries, it's a little bit more challenging. Then you rinse it out. Use the clean water, though, so you don't have bacteria, unless you're definitely going to get your cookware up to temp before cooking again. However, you don't know that you're going to do that. So you should probably use the already cleaned water, like the water that's been sterilized from boiling or whatever. Or put the water in, You scrub and rub it around, and then you leave the water in and put it back on the fire. And then you are boiling the water while cleaning the rest of it. Then once you have a clean cook surface again, then you put your oil on it to preserve it, and then Bob's your uncle. There you go. Yeah, Ranger. I think there's dedicated due that we need to do some kind of prepper stream coming up at some point. I'm gonna, like, this guy here, I'm gonna be getting back into the shop and doing, like, building things and stuff coming up. I did a test stream from it on Tuesday, and I should have been live now from it to test it again, but I didn't even think of it. It's all AMD too, AMD processor and GPU. But if you're heading out, have a great night, man.
Be that guy. You know, the one with a full pantry who's too sick to eat because he couldn't wash his hands. Soap is laughably cheap now. It's flat out priceless later. Let me steer you toward the right kind, though. Skip the fancy liquid soaps and plastic pumps. Those run out fast and take up space. Go with simple bar soap instead. It lasts longer, stores easier, and never leaks. A basic unscented bar is your best friend. Bar soap does more than clean your hands, too. It lubricates a stuck zipper or a stubborn drawer. Rub it on a saw blade to cut wood smoother. Use shavings to make a basic laundry wash. One humble bar stretches across a dozen daily problems. Storage is dead simple. Keep your bars dry and they last for years, even decades. Some preppers swear old soap actually works better. It hardens with age and lasts longer per use. So buying extra now is a smart, cheap move. And think about hygiene beyond just yourself. In a group or family, one sick person infects everyone. Soap protects the whole team. Stock 50 bars or more. Spread them out. Clean hands keep a community alive when medicine is gone. 6. Vinegar. The liquid that does everything. Vinegar isn't just for making pickles, friends.
Oh, okay. He is getting into vinegar, or the AI slop is getting into vinegar. Is a very important thing to have on hand, especially if you don't know how to make it. And vinegar is I think it's a French word for, it's sour something. I forget what it means. I believe the origin is franglaise.
After an EMP, it becomes one of the most versatile survival liquids you can keep on a shelf. White vinegar and apple cider vinegar both pull serious weight. They work as natural disinfectants. They preserve food. They clean surfaces. A standard 5% acetic acid solution, which is just regular household vinegar, kills around 80% of bacteria and viruses on contact. That makes it a budget-friendly antiseptic when real medical supplies run thin. History gives us a powerful example. During the American Civil War, vinegar was used to clean wounds. It helped prevent gangrene back before antibiotics even existed. Soldiers literally depended on it to stay alive. For food, it's a preservation powerhouse. Pickling stretches the shelf life of vegetables by months with no refrigeration at all. Sailors on long voyages used to haul barrels of vinegar aboard. It helped fight scurvy and kept their drinking water from going foul. And here's where it gets wild. Vinegar neutralizes nasty odors. It cuts straight through grease. It even helps with pest control around your storage areas. A gallon jug costs under $3 today, which is nothing. During Venezuela's collapse, people hoarded vinegar. It replaced pricey, single-use cleaners and medicines they could no longer afford. Stock 10 gallons and you've locked in a disinfectant, a food...
Rubbing alcohol and vinegar are your baseline solutions. Bleach and hydrogen peroxide are your, like, destructive solutions. Vinegar is way better than bleach in general. Bleach is going to kill everything. Hydrogen peroxide is going to kill everything. Vinegar and some soap are going to be way better.
Food preserver, a wound cleaner, and a barter item folks will beg you for. Sealed up properly, vinegar lasts practically forever. When the cleaning aisles vanish in days, this humble liquid keeps your home sanitary and your food edible. Here's a money-saving angle most folks miss. White vinegar is the cheapest and most useful for cleaning. Apple cider vinegar wins for health and food uses. Stock both if you can. They cover slightly different jobs around your home and pantry. Vinegar also softens hard, dried-out leather and rope. It removes mineral buildup from pots and containers. It even keeps weeds down around your garden paths. A splash in your wash water brightens dingy fabric. The uses just keep stacking up. For your health, diluted vinegar soothes sunburns and bug bites. A weak rinse can calm an itchy scalp. Some folks gargle it for a sore throat. Always dilute it first, though. Straight vinegar is harsh on skin and teeth. Store it in glass or its original plastic jugs. Keep it out of direct sun in a cool spot. It won't...
The jugs that vinegar is going to come in are high-density polyethylene, HDPE, and it's the number 2 on the recycle chart. It's going to be the same as milk jugs. And Arizona iced tea, which is... the Arizona iced tea is probably the best jug for storing water later, because milk jugs are very thin. The Arizona iced tea and, you know, the knockoffs, the store brands of it, that is the, I'd say that is the 100% best if you like upcycle container that you're not buying just to be a container. The Arizona iced tea is 100% the best container to store water later because it's high density polyethylene, the number 2 on the recycle chart, but it's thick. And it's not shaped great for storage. But it's not going to break when getting bumped after 10 years.
Won't spoil, but heat can weaken it slowly. 10 gallons tucked away gives you years of cleaning, healing, and preserving power. Word count checkpoint number 2. Hey, quick pause again. We're halfway through and the heavy hitters are still coming.
Dude said word count checkpoint number 2. What is it? Is this baseball?
If you're getting value here, hit that like button right now.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Breakdowns like this. And tell me in the comments how many of these you already own. Okay, let's keep rolling. 5. Coffee, survival fuel for the mind. After an EMP, your nights get long and your sleep gets broken by fear.
So pro tip, the only thing that works is you need instant coffee, which is freeze dried. It's actual just coffee that's made and then freeze dried and then broken into a powder. So you need instant coffee and or then green coffee beans that then you have to roast yourself and grind yourself and everything. The stocking up on instant coffee is, I mean, it's a limited commodity, but that's what's your first use thing. When you start getting to like, hey, I have time to deal with gardening or whatever, then having the green coffee beans or growing your own at that point. I mean, that's only one more step from having to then take the green coffee beans and like roast them, and I'm not even sure the whole process. Roast them and then grind them and then gravity bong them, I guess. I'm not even sure.
Your days fill up with hard, grinding physical labor. In that world, coffee stops being a cozy luxury. It becomes a flat-out survival stimulant. Caffeine boosts your alertness, sharpens your reaction time, and stretches your endurance. Dozens of military studies have proven this out. The U.S. Army has documented that.
Also, if you just want caffeine, you can buy just caffeine, and it stores a lot more compact than coffee does, even instant coffee. Per how much you get. Amazon. I don't remember if bulksupplements.com has it, but yeah, Slamazon. Just not even no dose. Just buy like a pure just caffeine pill you can take. It'll help out. Unless you like coffee. Sometimes I do.
Caffeine can boost vigilance by up to 66% in soldiers running on almost no sleep. That's not about feeling comfy and warm. That's about staying alive on watch duty when looters are creeping around in the dark. Coffee even suppresses your appetite a little. That buys you a few extra hours when food is scarce and stomachs are growling. But here's where it turns into pure black gold. In nearly every economic collapse, stimulants like coffee and tea become prized commodities. During the Second World War, coffee rationing in the United States actually sparked riots in some cities. People didn't take kindly to losing their fix. In modern Venezuela, a single pound of coffee could trade for a week's groceries. It fueled exhausted people straight through their crushing days. The beauty is the price. Coffee is cheap right now. Around $10 for a large can, and vacuum sealed it keeps for years. Instant coffee packets stretch out even longer. So stockpiling it isn't about a cozy mug by the fire. It's about having a real chemical edge in a brutal world. Sleep will be scarce. Mental sharpness will mean the difference between spotting danger early and stumbling straight into it. Let me talk strategy on storing it though. Whole beans last longer than ground coffee. Vacuum sealed and kept cool, beans hold flavor for years. But you'll need a manual grinder if you go that route. Buy a cheap hand grinder now and tuck it away. Instant coffee is the unsung hero for preppers, honestly. It needs no grinder and no brewing gear. Just add hot water and you're set.
There you go. The guy said exactly what I said. Instant coffee is the way. It's already had all the labor, all the expensive things done to it. It's just ready to store in the most compact thing, and no water. Like you have your own water, and then add the thing to it. It stores down very compactly for what you get out of it.
It stores for a very long time when sealed. Stock a big jar or two as your backup. Don't overlook caffeine in other forms either. Tea leaves store well and offer the same edge. Caffeine pills are tiny, cheap, and last for years. Mix your options so you're never fully out. The goal is a steady supply of alertness on demand. And remember the barter angle one more time. Coffee is an addiction for millions of people. Cut off their supply and they'll trade almost anything. A small bag of instant coffee becomes pure leverage. Stock extra purely as currency. It might be your most valuable trade good. 4. Trash bags, the black gold of preparedness. This sounds ridiculous at first, I get it, but trash bags might honestly be one of the smartest things.
I mean, yes, both for waste disposal and for a whole bunch of other things. I have multiple, even for the like sized for the same trash can, so that they're multi-use. I have essentially multiple sizes and thicknesses of trash bags. They all can be used in my standard trash cans, but they can be used for other things too.
Things you can hoard before an EMP. These are not just for garbage. They're full-blown survival multi-tools. Heavy-duty contractor bags work as ponchos when it rains. They become improvised tents for shelter. They cover and waterproof your gear. They even collect rainwater for drinking. FEMA itself lists plastic sheeting and trash bags among its top emergency supplies. The reason is their sheer, ridiculous versatility. We've got real-world proof too. After the 2010 earthquake in Haiti, survivors used trash bags to line pit toilets. That simple move helped reduce the spread of cholera. In Bosnia, during the worst of it, bags became makeshift body bags when formal supplies ran completely dry. That kept disease from spreading through crowded urban areas. A roll of 5-gallon bags costs under $20 today. That gives you around 50 instant waterproof shields. And here's the tactical angle most people miss. One bag suspended properly can hold up to 30 gallons of rainwater. That alone could keep a family hydrated for days. Try naming another product.
I mean, it can, but you have to have some kind of suspension system that will probably eat up some of the thing. Like that wasn't a great. Unless you're talking about just straight like 6 mil contractor bags, like 55-gallon bags.
Product under $1 each that doubles as clothing, shelter, sanitation, and water storage all at once. You can't. Stockpile hundreds of them, seriously. Once the grid dies, waste management simply disappears overnight, and human waste becomes a killer faster than starvation does. Trash bags don't just keep your space tidy, they keep you alive when the whole world turns into a giant cesspool. Cheap, light, and impossible to overstock. Let me hammer the toilet point home, because it's life or death. After an EMP, your flush toilet is just a useless porcelain bowl. No water means no flushing. A bag-lined bucket becomes your bathroom. That simple setup stops disease from sweeping through your home. Beyond that, trash bags insulate you from the cold. Stuff one with dry leaves or paper for a quick sleeping pad. Wear one under your jacket to trap body heat. In a survival emergency, they fight off deadly hypothermia. That's a lot of value from a plastic sheet. They also keep your critical gear bone dry. Wrap your firewood, your matches, your spare clothes. Wet supplies in a crisis can mean death. A few cents of plastic protects hundreds of dollars of gear. Always line your bags with bags, layering for safety. Go for the thick contractor grade, not the flimsy kitchen ones. Cheap, thin bags rip the moment you need them. The heavy black ones hold.
This is exactly the conversation about gloves, like latex and nitrile. If you're talking about like, hey, you want to use quote rubber gloves for automotive purposes, you should probably be in the 7 to 9 mil range. For medical, I mean, 3 to 5 is probably okay. Then they're gonna break. All of them are gonna break. But for medical, they need to be sterile. Like, you don't want to be going and touching things. Unless it's all you have. And then, rub some alcohol on your rubber gloves, and then, go to work, go to town, whatever you're doing. Mr. Ranger and Rogue says 20% sterile, 80% non-sterile. That sounds like a good mishmash. Because you're going to be doing a lot of things, especially if you're using them for, like, if you plan on, if you have workshop/automotive tasks in mind with them, especially with that, you probably can go even higher on the non-sterile because you're going to go through them. However, at the same time, once things like, oh, you can't just go to the store and get them, what you have is what you have forever. If some kind of apocalypse scenario happens, well, that you can't buy any more. So you probably want to use more like more reusable glove type situations for the more dirty type of jobs. And then when they actually 100% wear out, or you're double layering or whatever, like using your straight like mechanics gloves with like a non-sterile, of course, like nitrile glove underneath and over top of it. The one on the top is the sacrificial one that may not be the cleanest. It may have been previously used. Here's the thing. Unless it was used for something medical, in a disaster scenario, unless a glove was used for something medical or dangerous, don't throw them away. Don't trash them. Don't burn them. Save them to be a sacrificial outer layer for your padded gloves, like mechanics gloves, that you then also probably maybe have an internal glove on with. Maybe you don't even need the internal one because you're wearing a sacrificial outer layer that now, hey, that's reusing. That is getting more value out of the stuff that you have purchased and using. If you can prevent oil and chemicals from soaking into your mechanics glove, like MECHANIX, the brand name, like Kleenex or Zamboni or whatever. I'm using that as a brand name to describe the general, like, padded shooter glove, whatever mechanics type gloves type situation. If you can get a sacrificial outer layer on that, you extend the life of that good glove by a lot. Now you don't have to worry about cleaning it. Now you don't have to worry about what's embedded in it. It's a pretty good deal. Oh, just for medical? Grippy gloves and masks? I mean, like the Gorilla gloves? Yeah, those are important too. I mean, that's like the pardon my French, the ghetto version of the like mechanics gloves. Like the rubber dipped gloves that have the nubbies on them, or just rubber coating. Oh man, yeah, they're like semi-disposable, not fully, like they're not just consumable. Well, they are consumables. They're not just disposable, but I mean they are. The ones that I showed you, like you buy them in a pack of 15. I have like between 3 and 7 pairs in every vehicle of those. The only pair that I actually remember actually giving up on was fairly recent, when these sticky burrs. I don't know what they're not like the spiny ones. They're just sticky burrs. I was wearing them while doing some yard work, and oh, these gloves were entirely coated, as was the shirt and shorts and shoes I was wearing at the time. Because I thought I'd take a chainsaw to them, and it turns out I just need to like pull on them a little bit. They had very weak root systems. Just pull them out, toss them. Oh, but then you're spreading the seeds. That's my own fault because I'm an idiot. Any hoozles, I digress.
Hold up to real abuse. Buy several big boxes, stash them in different spots. You'll never regret having too many. 3. Rice, the king of calorie insurance. Now we're getting to the heavy hitters. Sitting near the top of any smart prepper's list is rice. It's the cheapest, longest lasting, most efficient calorie bank you can possibly stockpile.
Rice, pinto beans, and legumes, like my brain is like resetting right now. What's the third thing? Lentils. Rice, pinto beans, and lentils. Pinto beans and lentils bring the protein. Rice brings the straight, just calories, and making your stomach feel full.
Nothing else really competes on pure value. A single 2 0-pound bag costs under $15. Inside that bag sits over 32,000 calories. That's enough to feed one adult for roughly 3 weeks at survival levels. Store it right, in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, and rice lasts 25 to 30 years. That's not just food, that's stored time. In a post-EMP world, time is the whole...
That's white rice specifically. If you have brown rice or wild rice, as it's called some places, it is not going to last that long. It will go rancid, even with oxygen absorbers. I'm a little bit surprised this, even though it's AI slop, that this thing didn't mention that.
The whole ballgame. Look at Japan after World War II. Rice was so critical that how it got rationed decided who lived in comfort and who starved. It was that important. That's central to survival. In prepping circles, rice is called the ultimate staple crop in a bag. Pair it with beans, and you create a complete protein source. Without refrigeration, fresh meat and dairy vanish in days. But rice holds the line for literal decades on a shelf. The calorie to dollar ratio is unbeatable. You're looking at roughly 2,000 calories per single dollar when you buy in bulk. And for barter, rice basically becomes currency once desperate neighbors run their pantries dry. Picture having 200 pounds of rice stored away.
Once things get bad enough, rice and salt being considered currency, it's like even more than jalapeno cheese spread. I could see that happening.
That's around 320,000 calories, enough to outlast almost any crisis wave you could imagine.
Wait, by I could see that happening, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I meant that's happened in history, and I could see it happening again. Little difference.
Remember, the EMP Commission warned that 90% of Americans could die in a year-long grid collapse, mostly from starvation. Rice is your direct antidote to becoming part of that grim statistic. Dirt cheap today, absolutely priceless tomorrow. Let me get specific about which rice to buy, though. White rice beats brown rice for storage, hands down. Brown rice has oils that go rancid within a year.
Oh, we just went over that. Outstanding. Hey, video, good deal clarifying. I would put that more up front on it though.
White rice strips those oils out. That's why it lasts decades instead of months. Storage is everything with rice. Loosen the original bag, bugs and moisture ruin it fast. Seal it in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. Drop those into food-grade buckets. Done right, you'll forget it's even there for 25 years. And learn to cook it efficiently now. Rice needs a lot of water and fuel to boil. Soak it first to cut cooking time. A thermos can finish the job using less fuel. Small tricks like these stretch your precious resources further. Pair it smart too. Rice alone leaves gaps in your nutrition. Beans complete the protein. A little oil adds vital calories. Some salt makes it edible day after day. Stock those companions alongside your rice. Together they form a complete survival diet. 2. Water filters. The difference between life and slow death. Here's a brutal fact people love to.
I need to learn how to do chapter like breaks on videos on YouTube. This one could have done with chapter breaks, but I mean this is an AI slop video, and it just didn't know to do that.
To ignore. You can survive weeks without food. You'll last only about 3 days without clean water. After an EMP, the taps go dry, and whatever's left gets contaminated fast. That's where a cheap water filter earns its place at the top of your list. A basic gravity filter or a simple straw-style filter costs under $30 today. Some run even cheaper. These little tools strain out bacteria, parasites, and the nasty stuff that causes dysentery and cholera. According to the CDC...
Excuse me, sir. What in the... That's a hot dog with a tail? What is going on here? Pardon my French. Je suis le chumfili. Pardon my French, sir. What the? That's a dick worm. What? Okay.
Dysentery and cholera. According to the CDC, waterborne illness becomes one of the leading killers in any disaster zone. Think about it. Rivers, ponds, and rain catchment all become your new water source overnight. None of it is safe to drink straight. A filter turns questionable water into something that won't put you flat on your back for a week. You can boil water too, sure, but that burns fuel and time you may not have. A filter does the job silently, with no power and no flame. Many quality filters clean thousands of gallons before they wear out. That's years of safe drinking from one small device. For barter, clean water access is everything.
I like how we have
Access is everything. That's years of safe drinking.
I like how we have like the shot of random cocktails in cocktail glasses is the safe drinking water.
From one small device. For barter, clean water access is everything. The person who can make foul water drinkable holds real power. Stockpile a couple of filters and a stack of replacement cartridges. You've just secured the single most important resource on the planet. Don't skip this one. Add backups to your water plan too. Keep a bottle of unscented bleach on hand. A few drops treats a gallon in a pinch. Stock some purification tablets as well. They're tiny, cheap, and last for years. Layers of protection keep you covered when one method fails. 1. Lighters and matches. The spark of survival. At the very top sits the humblest item of all. Fire. Specifically the ability to make it instantly, anytime, without struggle. A handful of cheap lighters and waterproof matches might be the most valuable thing in your entire stockpile. Fire does almost everything for you in a collapse. It cooks your food. It boils your water clean. It keeps you warm and fends off hypothermia. It wards off animals. And it keeps morale up when the dark closes in. Without it, every other supply gets harder to use. A pack of disposable lighters costs around $5 and gives you thousands of flames. Waterproof matches run just a few bucks for hundreds of strikes. That's an absurd amount of fire starting power for pocket change. Store them dry and they keep working for years. Compare that to trying to start fire the hard way. Friction and flint take skill, time, and a lot of frustrating effort. When you're cold, wet, and exhausted, you want a flame in one click. Lighters give you exactly that, no learning curve required. And as a barter item, fire starters are pure gold. Everyone needs fire. Not everyone thinks to stock it. The person holding a box of lighters in a dead grid world holds something everybody wants. Stockpile dozens. They weigh almost nothing, and they could save your life every single day. Final word count checkpoint. All right, we made it through the whole list. Before you go, smash
Final
that like button.
word
Let's open your
count
eyes even a little.
checkpoint.
Subscribe so the next breakdown lands right in your feed. And drop a comment telling me which item surprised you the most. Let's keep this conversation going. Wrapping it all up. So there you have it. 12 cheap, boring, easy to find items that punch way above their weight when the grid dies. None of these will break your budget. Most cost less than a single dinner out. Yet together they form a survival foundation that money can barely buy once panic sets in. Candles for light, salt to preserve and trade, sewing kits to keep your gear intact, duct tape to fix the unfixable, baking soda for hygiene and food safety, soap to fight
Duct tape to fix the unfixable. Maybe not so much that one.
disease, vinegar to clean and preserve, coffee for mental sharpness, trash bags for shelter and sanitation, rice for raw calories, water filters for clean drinking, and lighters for the spark of life itself. Here's the thing to remember above everything else. Preparation isn't about fear, it's about peace of mind. The people who stay calm in a crisis are the ones who got ready while everyone else ignored the warnings. You don't need to be rich, you just need to be a little bit ahead. Start small. Grab a few of these items on your next shopping trip. Build your stockpile slowly, week by week, until you've got a real cushion. Because when that pulse hits, and history...
Oh, Mr. Ranger, not just a lighter. A lighter won't do shit. Well, like standard Bic lighters, like this little guy, 100% worth picking up and having like a dozen. I mean, or hey, 6, and then every 5 years you pick up another 6, whatever. They 100% are. I disagree, sir, but then you also should have not the cheapest, not the smallest, but like a 1/2-inch ferro rod as like that's going to be your primary. But then you also need to practice like creating sparks with that ferro rod. I am reading chat. Dum dum. You said 50 packs of Bics are cheap. You should have a fire kit, not just a lighter. A lighter won't do shit. Oh, true. I'm anti-Bic lighters. Maybe you read chat, dum dum. That's what you. That's what I see. Is there something that I'm missing? Is there something that Okay, so I've got. No biggie. However, I'm very pro girthy ferro rod, but also practicing with that ferro rod in order to like actually throw sparks on it, onto whatever your tinder is, and actually practicing with it. If you are not going to practice and learn a new skill, a whole bunch of Bic lighters is probably the way to go. Or like the long, like camping stove lighters. Either one, probably the way to go, unless you are into like, hey, let me learn a little bit. And then the ferro rod is going to be your go-to. You should probably learn how friction, a little bit, of Newton's third law. Maybe that'll help out. And how to do sparks from friction as a last-ditch effort kind of thing. If you are, if you're in a bad way, and maybe you've procured some foodstuffs, but it's not quite safe to eat yet, you want to be able to have that. You need to have that. A tard with a lighter won't be able to start a fire. You need to practice and need a full kit to start a fire in any situation, like rain or anti-smoke if you're in danger. I mean, yes, those are both true. But at the same time, a lighter, like a standard, like a 50-cent to $1 Bic lighter, is the fastest way to get a fire going. Or one of them at least. The lowest effort, fastest way. No, you do still have to put your tinder together, and then your kindling, and then your like get your stick. You have to know how fire works if you want to create a usable fire. You have to know how the fuel works, but being able to start the fire, I mean, The Bic lighter, I think, still wins. Anti-smoke, you should be digging like Dakota fire pit type holes if you're putting together and like if you're trying to work on that. Magnifying lens, Bic, ferro rod, waterproof matches, cotton soaked in petroleum, fat wood shavings, resin, char cloth, magnesium, etc. Mr. Ranger, if I could bring up the chat. I mean, no, there it is. It's already on the screen. That is a really good kit, and it's very small. Like it takes up almost no space. Exactly what, if you've never started a fire, you won't be able to start one on the fly. Like most things having to do with survival, you're not going to rise to the occasion. If you've never done it, I mean, maybe you get it done. However, you're not going to... I consider the economy of the situation. Like, most of what I do in a professional setting has to do with economies of scale. But that's not which... I say it's not, but it does apply to this situation. If you use up 80% of your materials, like let's say you have a professional fire starting kit, but you've never even tried it out before, you can't replenish stuff on that. You've never even tried out using it. If you are going to use up 80% of the material out of your fire starting kit and you didn't learn it, like, and or maybe you didn't even learn any lessons from when you finally got the fire working because you weren't paying attention, because you were dehydrated and probably a little bit starving. If you didn't get any lessons learned from it, I mean, it's not going to last all that long because you're not doing very well and you're not going to be doing very well. Fireman in the house. Welcome in, sir. Good evening. They don't know what Tinder is? I mean, Tinder is when you swipe right and the fire starts. That's what they know. Your fire kits are the size of a small book. I mean, well, a book can be a lot of sizes. Oh, fireman. You gotta learn how to... The one who walks through fire, you gotta learn how to start a fire from scratch. I mean, that would be on brand for you to know how to start a fire. Just FYI. Fire kit is only for bad situations. Fire starting should always be with the least resources. Yes, 100%. I agree. I'm all about efficiency in everything. Unless there's a reason not to be, you should be striving. This is engineering brain coming in. Like, unless there's a reason not to be, you should be using the least resources for the most outcome with everything. That's just to save resources. Fire kits for bad rain or wet wood. Well, I mean, yeah, you get, if you, I agree, like, I think 100% you should have a little bit of fat wood. Like, that can be used for that type of situation. However, sometimes, you know, non-permissible environments, etc. But, like, most people aren't having to deal with that. Most people aren't. I guess the best way to say it is most people aren't spies. So having a fire starting kit, even if it's not the most efficient one, even if it's not great, but having the basics of it in your truck or whatever is probably the way to go. Fat wood and magnesium. And here's the thing, magnesium is great. You have to get it up to I forget what the contact point is. The not spark flame point, whatever. It needs to be in shavings. So if you want to store it in shavings with magnesium, like from an expensive bicycle or whatever, if you want to store it in shavings, like small, very small shavings beforehand, then maybe that'll take up a little bit more space. Or the counter to that is being able to use a knife to get exactly the size you want, which maybe you haven't tried that, maybe you haven't experimented previously. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Maybe that's a reason to practice this thing. Ranger, you have boxes of fat wood and magnesium. Your fire kit has a magnesium capsules? Like veggie... That's an idea. I've been packing my own, like, veggie capsules with, KSM 66 ashwagandha. Like, that's... I haven't thought about that, because, like, not even using it as is, just a very small dose of, say, magnesium, just being able to break that open and having the shavings. That's a great idea. I like it. Wait, you bought empty capsules and made them plastic burns and everything in it? No, like, I'm talking like glyco, whatever, like the veggie. Do I have some right here? The veggie capsules that you put like supplements in, if you're dosing your own supplements, like that, even that, you can still, break it open and then have a spreadable material. That's a great idea. Yeah, okay, yeah, capsules you can swallow. Yeah, we're talking about the same thing. Veggie capsule. They're made out of like glycerol or something. I don't know. I think I have I think I've been using number 1 size. It's either number 0 or number 1 size. The ones that I've been doing, primarily for ashwagandha. Different. Yeah. Resin is huge in overlooked fire plugs. Like as a fuel source? It is resin as a starter. Fat wood should be coated or impregnated. I agree. I'm ending it. Twitch, go say hi to Isadore. Good evening. We aren't raiding anywhere else. Oh, wait. On Kick, we can, I guess. Oh. I spelled the raid wrong on Twitch. Killing me, Smalls. Okay, we messed up the raid on Twitch. Can we do it on Kick? Ah, here we go.
Okay. But I like all these ideas, right? The Carl RPG will probably be the next game I start working on. So the plan now is website stuff, stream stuff that I want to get done in between. Like, Scamboard is tomorrow. I'm starting Scamboard tomorrow.
There we go. Okay, we got a raid on Kick
get, like,
and
get some website
oh,
updates.
Izor was just sleeping. That was a bad decision then. I didn't even check him out. You should check out, whenever you're gonna do a raid, you should check out where you're gonna raid first.
The VOD thing, the VOD turned into episode.
There we go.
Like, I already have
For everybody
VODs,
else,
but, like,
have a great
make it
night,
better, make it easier, make
nerds.
it